Hey everybody, welcome back to React TCG. We've got another 5 battles from Death Battle to react to. So let's tear open the pack and get right into things. We're running out of videos here, guys. Uh, Next time I go to record, if there's if they don't release their next Death Battle before next weekend or sometime, we're not gonna. I'm only gonna have 4 videos. So hopefully we get one in. Um, if not, I might wait till like the Sunday when they release videos and just record after they do it. Do a bit of a late video, um, just so that I can get the last one in there, and then I'll go react to other stuff, I guess. And then I guess Death Battle will start getting mixed in with other things, or either that or I wait until they have 5 and then react to them each time. Anyway, like I said, let's get into this. First things first, we have got Blade versus Buffy. This should be their third live action Death Battle, I believe. Yeah, third, because they had the Winter Soldier versus Red Hood and Nightwing versus Daredevil. What I like about when they do that is it reminds me of like the Bat in the Sun videos. If anyone's ever seen that, they call them like Superpower Beatdown or something like that. Those weren't bad, but they stopped doing them like a while back. And one of the things I didn't like is they didn't do research. They were more of a like by a pop. It was like a popularity contest almost. Like they had a website. You go to the website, you vote for who you think would win, and then they have whoever would had the most votes win. And if it was like really close, like 51%, 49%, because that's like as close as you can get it without being a tie, then they would do like an alternate ending. Like the fight would play out the same, but then at the end where the person died, it would things would change and the other person would die. Uh, so that people could see both of them win since it was like that close. Like it basically was a head, like a fucking coin toss at that point. Um, I think that the winner is probably for this fight is probably gonna be. I'm gonna go with Blade. Like I feel like he's been doing this a lot longer than Buffy. So I think I'm gonna go with Blade. He's a pretty good vampire hunter. He's taken on Dracula more than once. Uh, Fought, like vampire gods or blood gods or whatever the fuck. Done all kinds of crazy shit. Of course, he can also be an asshole sometimes. I mean, he did recently get possessed by a vampire god or a blood god or something and ended up infecting Miles Morales, turning him into a vampire. So that kind of sucks. But what can you do, man? Comic books are crazy.
Yeah.
Blade versus Buffy.
The Daywalker versus the Vampire Slayer.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. They are known by many names: Revenant, Vortalok, Nosferatu.
Vampires. When the moon is out and the night is young, these undead demons are out for blood.
Fitting then that the greatest foe of those who stalk the night is the one who can walk the day, Blade.
The Day
Is that
Walker.
really his costume?
Hang on.
Ah, now
Yes,
there's a man
there
who
we go.
doesn't file his taxes. Blade is one of the coolest superheroes ever and basically kickstarted the comic book movie craze.
And yet, he is also seemingly the only one who knows or cares that in the world of Marvel, vampires exist. Seriously, nobody talks about this.
Blade
Yeah, nobody
doesn't
really
need
talks
anyone's
about
help.
it.
He'll just aura farm by himself.
Even Blade's birth was hard.
I mean, the event I was talking about where he infected Miles Morales, that's kind of the point, is that like the world goes dark and the vampires just start attacking because it's like, yeah, there's vampires out there everywhere, and the only person seemingly hunting them is like Blade himself. Like, I get that other heroes have villains and stuff to deal with, but you would think they could take a bit of time to maybe check around, make sure there's no vampires lurking around in their neighborhoods and stuff. But nope, they just ignore the fact that vampires exist because Blade's got that shit handled. Alright, his real name is Eric Brooks, over 100 years old, 6'2" or 188 centimeters, 215 pounds or 98 kilograms, known as a Dampire because he is a day walker, professional jazz trumpeter. Not sure if that's impressive or racist. Likes I Am Legend? Hell yeah. Great movie. That's a good movie. Will Smith. Brielle and Boy Thing. I know Man Thing. I don't know Boy Thing. And Brielle is his daughter. And make that new movie Marvel. Yeah, fucking do that. Like, they said they were gonna make a Blade movie, and then, like, I don't even know if I heard it got canceled. I just haven't heard anything about it since they were like, we're gonna do a Blade movie. Which, do a Blade movie. Shit would be awesome.
Core. Just as the young Eric Brooks' mother was in labor, her attending doctor turned out to be the vampire Deacon Frost.
And he drank her blood right before she gave birth.
This
What a
infused
dick.
Eric with Frost's vampiric blood, turning him half human, half vampire. A Dampier.
Giving him a ton of vampy powers, but none of their weaknesses like garlic, holy water, or sunlight.
Eric would hone these abilities under the tutelage of vampire hunter Jamal Afari, sharpening him into a blade that would rape the vampire plague for good.
Blade is
Terrible
strong
way to
and
get it.
fast enough to toss around 1,000-pound demons and cut bullets out of the air. He can keep up with Wolverine, who can deflect Cyclops' light-speed optic blasts. And his
Are they
Kevlar
light speed,
DuPont
though?
armor helped him take the top of Count Von Stott's castle exploding.
He can heal small wounds immediately.
Though Blade has been incapacitated via stabbing, his healing factor is powered through impalement in secondary materials such as Blade the series and Blade the anime.
And sniff out the supernatural with his hypersenses. Also, his fangs can drain his victims of magical energies.
After studying
Fun.
the ways of Hong Kong Kung Fu movies, Blade became a master martial artist. Ah yes, the Rufus from
Blood-sucking fangs, magical energy siphoning, hypersenses, immortality, regeneration, shapeshifting, his berserk mode, and of course he's trained in martial arts.
Street Fighter School of Kung Fu.
While the only martial art he's been stated to know is Krav Maga, we know he's mastered more. So for the full scope of his martial arts ability, we'll examine the Blade movies as performed by Wesley Snipes.
By
Makes
looking at
sense.
Snipes' training and choreography, we know Blade uses Kung Fu, Capoeira, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Eskrima, Kickboxing, Shotokan Karate, and Hapkido. Add on
Basically
Blade's
anything
knack
with a
for
lot of
stealthy takedowns, and I guess you could call him Marvel's Batman.
I hate you.
Clear the way.
Blade's training progressed smoothly until Afari was attacked and had his blood drained by Dracula. Seriously, Avengers, Dracula is real. Why aren't you doing anything about this?
Yeah, you
He's
think they
right
would.
there.
Forced
not.
to murk his surrogate dad,
Not their
Blade
problem.
would have to wage his war alone.
Nursing a wound within him that would never heal. A hole that could never be filled.
Not with that attitude. Blade
Blade obviously has blades. Magical and adamantium swords, knives, stakes, and throwing glaives, and a bladed nunchuck. Or nunchaku, or whatever, the official way to say it is. Body armor, countless firearms and explosives, prosthetic gun hand. Wait, he has a fake hand? I did not know that. Anti-hypnosis goggles, flame gauntlets, edge of intrados, breathing gun, boy thing, and motorcycle.
He took a page out of the Book of Boomstick and tried filling that hole with every kind of weapon imaginable. He's got so many, they're his apartment decorations.
Handguns, assault rifles, and explosives make up the brunt of his firepower. And he enjoys getting up close and personal with his dual acid-etched titanium katanas.
Speaking of glorious Nippon steel, he's got a sword made out of adamantium.
Specifically, secondary adamantium, a variant of the metal that is mass-producible.
It may not be quite as strong as Cap's shield, but it can cut right through heavy hitters like Ultron and the Hulk.
Naturally, Blade has even more swords. His Atlantean ones can slice through magical enchantments. The Word Sword can harm intangible demons, and the Justiciar can slay fallen angels.
Yeah, he's got some weird stuff he can pull out of his ass, like a Hellfire shotgun that burns your
Or like
soul,
gumballs.
or hypodermic needles filled with vampire blood. Seems
Okay, hold
like
on, I want to go
good
back and make sure
angels.
everyone sees
Yeah,
this.
he's got some weird
Garlic gumballs. He is shoving garlic gumballs down a vampire's throat.
stuff he can pull out of his ass, like a Hellfire shotgun that burns your soul, or hypodermic needles filled with vampire blood. Seems kinda dumb to turn people into vampires, but it does make them more vulnerable to Blade's arsenal.
All that pales in
Fair enough.
comparison to the arch weapon of hell in Blade's possession, the breathing gun. It is a living firearm that hisses in the presence of demonic forces. Its sentient bullets chase its victims down. The wounds they cause cannot be healed. And if they get lodged in your body, they'll slowly devour you from the inside out. They can
Bro.
even hurt.
In the same fight where the breathing gun harmed him, Cosmic Ghost Rider defended attacks from Captain Marvel that could melt through a star.
Hell Lords and even greater threats like the Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Blade took everything he had and fought his one-man war for almost 100 years.
He's battled hordes of vampires while skydiving, infiltrated the Pentagon, and even took on Spider-Man like.
Well, this was the Insomniac version of Miles. Insomniac Spider-Man is on par with mainline Spider-Man in comic book crossovers.
Miles Morales, who could absorb the energy of a bomb that could destroy Harlem. Blades even bested the spirit of vengeance, Zarathos.
And while he occasionally allied with teams
Battled vampires for over 90 years, or around 90 years. Harmed Cosmic Ghost Rider with the breathing gun. Tore bodies apart with his bare hands. Blocked gunfire with his nunchaku. Dodged Count Vaughn's stats optic lasers, survived the Hulk throwing him into the sky, fought a horde of killer geese with Deadpool, and has defeated Dracula, Deacon Frost, Zarathos, and Varney. That's the guy. Varney is the guy who possessed him. And then he went and he bit Miles in the main 616
like the
universe.
Avengers,
Oh, damn, you can do that. In the main 616 universe, and now he's just permanently a vampire. Like, he doesn't have the weakness to the sun. I don't know if he has like the other weaknesses, but the sun didn't burn him up. But now he's like got to deal with that and having to feed on blood and stuff, and it's already hard enough to be a fucking spider person, man. Their lives are not good.
Vengeance, Zarathos.
And while he occasionally allied with teams like the Avengers, he prefers to work alone.
I probably would too if they only cared about me when I was helping them and not ridding the world of, vampires.
That, and Blade is scared of what he might do if he loses control, because
Yeah.
he does have one classic vampire weakness, a thirst for blood.
Yep.
Even more so after he had a daughter, Brielle, whom he avoided for fear of endangering her. If his
Yeah.
bloodlust does overwhelm him, he will enter a berserker rage, skyrocketing his strength at the cost of his sanity.
Though it does make him even better at killing vamps. He's made a cottage industry out of whooping Dracula's ass.
Yeah.
Dracula is unsurprisingly powerful, capable of summoning a thunderstorm
Dude
that
just
covered
won't
all
stay
of
down.
Boston with a wave of his hand.
Drac apparently didn't hold a grudge though, since he eventually made Blade the sheriff of Vampirsk, a vampire nation in the ruins of Chernobyl.
Amazingly, Dracula has even given Blade some of his own blood, which allows him to shapeshift into multiple forms, like a wolf, a horde of bats, or a cloud of mist.
So he can force his way inside your body and blow you up from the inside out.
Ew.
Ant-Man style.
What is with you with the Ant-Man? Blade's hatred of vampires is only matched by his hatred of himself.
Yeah. He's an edgelord. And he's gotta lord those
You've run out of
edges.
options, Theseus. Prepare for an orbital strike.
Are you sure, Nessa?
However, when Brielle showed signs of vampiric powers, Blade finally found a reason to reconnect with his daughter, training her the same way Afari trained him a century prior.
Even after Blade was possessed by the first vampire ever and tried to take over the planet, Brielle put her dad's teachings to the test, saving both him and the world.
And proving that Blade's lonely war need not be so lonely anymore. With his daughter at his side, and also this plant creature pet called Boy Thing, let Marvel's vampires beware. For should they indulge their unnatural urges, they will be sure to meet their end at the tip of his blade. Today's battle is sponsored
He's wrong.
Prize
Picks it if you get excellence parallel. Yeah,
Prize Picks.
every generation there is a In every generation, there is a chosen one. She alone will stand against the vampires, the demons, and the forces of darkness. She is the Slayer.
For thousands of years, a new Slayer would be granted incredible powers and was destined to die young in battle against evil, passing their powers on to the next Slayer, and the next, and so on. That is, until the newest Slayer would change everything. Buffy Ann Summers.
Not exactly the first girl.
Full name, Buffy Ann Summers. Height, 5'4" or 162.5 centimeters. Has been a waitress, a counselor, and a law enforcement. Love interests are Pike, Angel, Riley, Spike, and Satsu. Has died at least twice. Is founder and president of the Third Magic Council. And likes Ice Capades, James Spader, Christian Slater, and pineapple pizza. Yeah, pineapple pizza is not bad. I don't know why everyone hates on it.
You'd think is the savior of humanity. Buffy's only goals in life were, in her own words,
God, she
graduate
looks
from
so
high school,
different
go to
like
Europe,
that.
marry Christian Slater, and die.
But that would all change when the Watcher Merrick appeared and revealed her destiny.
Like, total bummer.
Merrick trained Buffy in the arts of vampire slang, and she became so efficient that she burned down her school. Whoops.
Forcing her and her mom to move to Sunnydale, California to start a new life, far away from any more bloodsuckers and bad makeup.
Unfortunately, small problem, Sunnydale just so happened to be right on top of a hellmouth, where the boundary between Earth and Hell is permeable.
Yeah, that sounds
Of
like
course.
the valley, all right. Along with new Watcher Giles, Wallflower Willow, part-time bad boy, part-time sad boy Angel, magical retcon sister Dawn, and Xander. Buffy and her Scooby gang would battle a never-ending series of monsters.
And we mean truly never-ending. Sure, there's the TV show, but Buffy has also been slaying vampires across video games, comics, and 128 novels. Tens of thousands of pages of
I remember
Buffy lore you've never heard of.
she's actually been in
We're
more
just
comics
crazy
than
enough
Blade.
to speed read 'em all.
Buffy carries a variety of anti-vampire weaponry. There's wooden stakes, of course, sometimes dipped in gore.
Okay, really? I'm sorry, just hold on.
Buffy carries a variety of anti-vampire weaponry. There's wooden stakes, of course, sometimes dipped in
Like,
gore.
you really had to make her do that, guys. Alright. She has a crossbow, knives and stakes, Morningstar, grenades, flamethrower, M136 rocket launcher, Hellfire launcher, Hope's dagger, laser rifle, Olaf's hammer, and glove of Mygon, and razor blades. That's not how you spell razor blades.
Organ venom that can turn you to stone. Though she's also experienced with axes, swords, quarterstaffs, holy water, just about anything.
You said it! When she fought an ancient demon unable to be killed by any weapon forged in his time, Buffy introduced his stupid ass to the 20th century.
She's also a master of Aikido, Judo, Jiu-Jitsu, boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, karate, kung fu, wushu, tai chi, kendo, capoeira, and taekwondo.
Buffy apparently
I think
thinks
that was
Hong
more
Kong's
martial
kung
arts
fu
than
movie
Blade.
masters could
That's not
learn a
good.
thing or two.
No kidding. Thanks to her Slayer senses, her reflexes are fine-tuned enough to dodge close-range Gatling gun fire, lightning bolts from the sky, and even beams of light. She's kept up with another Slayer, Faith, who can dodge laser beams from point-blank range.
Buffy's strong enough to bend rebar, punch this 4.5-ton bat monster into the air, and smash hard enough to tear apart a building.
And despite
Yeah,
her lack of
that
armor, she
happened.
can survive massive explosions, like the one that destroyed Cephrylian's lair that's bigger on the inside.
She can even fight blindfolded, but if she is injured, she heals fast.
Accelerated healing, heightened senses, martial arts and weapons expertise, Clouter's trance, Slayer mode in quotation marks, superhuman resistance to hypnosis and mind control, clairvoyance, poisons and sedatives, physical possession, soul manipulation, and memory manipulation.
Enough to be totally fine by the next episode.
One time, Angel sucked out almost all of the blood from her body, and she survived. Doubly impressive since Angel's blood draining also drains magical energy.
Yeah, Buffy's own
Oh,
magic
like
makes her
Blade.
weirdly resilient to esoteric attacks, like when she expelled this misty shadow demon trying to possess her body, or when she resisted her soul being ripped apart and scattered across time,
Oh, hold on.
or when she
It was almost enough to pull her apart, to scatter her soul across the eons, among these thousands of years of slayers. No, she thought, and it echoed over millions of days, infinite moments. I am the Slayer. Moment by moment, life by life, in an instant or a fraction of a forever, she pulled herself back. Heart and soul, she grasped the lifeline that was the primal power of the Slayer, and she found herself again. Original Sins novel.
resisted her soul being ripped apart and scattered across time.
Or that time she jumped into a vat of boiling liquid so hot it could reduce people to skeletons, and she was just fine.
She might not show physical scars, but she sure has emotional ones.
Oh, hell
And the
yeah.
Slayer put a huge burden on Buffy's life.
Unable to live
And then she
normally,
died.
She felt isolated, forced to internalize the trauma she faced on a daily basis. Sure, she had friends, but they couldn't understand her unique struggle.
Like
Yeah.
when Angel turned evil after he took her virginity and tried to destroy the world. That must be one of those metaphors.
Sometimes the
No.
worst enemies are the ones you can't fight and who don't fight back.
Made even worse by her having all the memories of the other Slayers bouncing around in her head, dating back to the Stone Age.
Buffy has dreamt of every battle
Buffy can tap into her skills subconsciously. She can react without thinking, sense danger in advance, and fight at her full potential even after her memories have been erased.
Slayer has ever fought, and can call upon those skills in a fight, even subconsciously.
But this includes the memories of their deaths. Countless women violently dying young. A reminder of her inevitable fate.
A fate that came to pass when she fought the Hell God Glory. After leaping into Glory's reality-ending interdimensional hole,
A glory hole, if you will.
Buffy sacrificed herself to save the universe, dying a hero's death.
It appears my glory hole joke was poorly timed.
Finally freed
And you
of
would
her
think that would
unfair
be it,
earthly responsibilities,
but...
Buffy's soul ascended to heaven in perfect bliss.
And
Until
then...
her friends brought her back to life in the agony of existence.
Yep.
Come on.
I mean, they didn't know she was in heaven, but
Just get them
she was
delivered, you
resting
know.
in peace, man.
This
You just had to bring her back.
absolutely crushed Buffy and, ironically, annihilated her will to live.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's rough, Buffy. But with the show renewed for more seasons, she had to nut up and continue her endless crusade against all things Spirit Halloween.
Buffy's battle
Yeah,
for
pretty
48
much.
hours straight.
Has destroyed the Seed of Wonder, lifted Olaf's enchanted hammer, caught the sword that sealed Akatha, survived Willow's unrestrained magical power, matched Oz's micro-millisecond reactions, gouged out the Hell Lord Belphegor's eye, withstood lightning from the Gatherer, and has defeated the Master, Dracula, First Evil, and Hellmother.
Defeated vampires immune to traditional vampiric weaknesses, and destroyed the Sword of Sano, which caused the Great Hanshin earthquake.
And of course, both Buffy and her
What did that say about traditional vampires?
Defeated vampires immune to traditional vampiric weaknesses,
So?
and destroyed the Sword of Sano, which caused the Great Hanshin earthquake.
And of course, both Buffy and her friends have defeated countless immensely powerful demons.
Like the Queller Demon, which arrived as a meteor and caused the Tunguska explosion, which destroyed over 2,000
Wait, so it's an
kilometers
alien?
of forest. Or the Sorrow Demon, which caused a storm that blanketed Los Angeles.
She's also a match for Angel, who survived a blast that could rupture a continental shelf, and took hits from Whistler, whose magic contained a bomb that could vaporize London.
She even faced off against the First Evil, literally the embodiment of all evil that predates reality itself.
Forced into battles against stronger and stronger baddies, Buffy clearly needed something to even the odds.
Yeah, she's getting her ass beat.
Slayer safe!
It's actually a Bardiche,
Yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna say it. This thing is bullshit.
containing the essence of Buffy's Slayer power.
Slayer Scythe. Counterpart to Excalibur. Interesting. Forged to kill old ones. Contains the essence of Buffy's Slayer powers. Cuts through magic, space, and ghosts. Power absorption, reflection, redistribution. Magical wards against theft and power removal. This scythe conceived a child with Willow in the novels. I hate when they do that and then say don't ask, because now, like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, what?
And created to defeat ancient demons.
It did
the
what?
scythe can deflect magical projectiles and slice through just about anything. Ghosts, magic, even space
but it's not a
itself,
scythe.
destabilizing reality in the process.
Even Silas, the devourer of worlds. Kinda like Galactus, but instead of chomping on planets, he eats the multiverse. And there goes his head.
The scythe is easily the most powerful tool
So,
in her arsenal. In
Buffy's
effect,
gonna win 'cause she
attaining
has that, right?
completed Buffy, as though it were a piece of her she never knew was missing. With the scythe, Buffy was finally whole. Being the Slayer was no longer a burden, but a purpose.
And by sharing her Slayer powers with thousands of girls around the world, they all teamed up and kicked the First Evil's ass.
Suddenly, the always isolated Buffy had thousands of shoulders to lean on, a sisterhood of Slayers.
And thousands
Aw.
more reasons for any wannabe demon conqueror to stay away from Earth. Because unless you want to get your blood all over her stylish yet affordable boots, you'll steer clear of Buffy, the Vampire Slayer. Hey, as you know, first
You can find UW. All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
it's time for a live-action death battle!
It's like Blade's original fucking nightclub scene. Except it's Buffy.
We were kings, long before they had a name for kings.
That with Blade.
But now, starved, hunted, forgotten. You have waited long enough. Tonight, we remember who we were. Tonight, we take back what was always ours. Tonight, we feast.
There's like one chick there. How many people does one? How many vampires does one person feed?
That's just the start.
Did Did she fight her before Blade started doing shit? If not, she's fine. This me just fucking alright. This is what's happening. Fuck it. Turn up the music. Maybe they'll save me if I give them a good soundtrack. Or spare me or whatever the fuck, you know. Oh damn. It's pretty good. Of the live action ones, like I said, not only does it remind me of like the battle or the Bat Sun thing, but like they had to like film this and choreograph this and all that shit instead of just animating it. I mean, not that animating is easy. But like, imagine the work that went into this. Oh, that's gonna, yeah. UV bomb. Dude just accepts it. Dude went out. He didn't give a fuck. She did get bit before. Yeah, all he's gonna see is that he shot a girl in the face. So yeah, they're about to fight now. They were working together. Now they're not.
She was just a kid!
Not anymore.
That was not the voice I was expecting. That was way more high-pitched than I thought it was gonna be. Bro, that play is just, that caught me off guard, bro. I think she's gonna win. I think she knows more martial arts. And that weapon they were talking about, the Slayer sight. That thing's pretty crazy, but if Blade can hit her with a breathing gun, even if he loses the fight, she'll die eventually. Ow.
You out your damn mind?
It was better in the original movie. That wasn't bad. Places that don't know, in the original movie, security guard like shoots Wesley Snipes, and he fucking like it hits his bulletproof armor and kind of doesn't react. And he looks at him, he's like, "Are you out your damn mind?" So then they like drop their weapons and run. It's fucking priceless. Come on, get her, get her, get her. Damn it, that's not gonna be a killing blow, that's just gonna hurt. Oh, yep. Feel that. Damn. Bitch is strong.
Amateur hour. There's always some motherfucker trying to ice skate uphill.
You stop fucking saying all his quotes.
Knowing the Canadian chickens
We know
are
the
raised
quotes.
with no added hormones means you can spend your time worrying about other things. Like if your childhood imaginary friend is still here, but you just can't see him anymore.
That was a weird commercial.
Of the universe. The only emperor of the galaxy.
Good for you. I don't care. Why is he sliding his sunglasses around? Oh. Uh-oh. Oh. But yeah, that's a win, right? That should kill her, like, regardless of what happens. That should still kill her.
Another sword.
I see you cut through adamantium.
Bring it on.
Still doesn't know what adamantium is, buddy. Damn. Made her eat his foot. Yeah, come on. Put her down. Come on, Blade, end it. Oh, she's just accepting it? No, she's one final attack. She's gonna win. Sorry, dude, you're about to die. It's gonna shatter right. Oh, I was gonna shatter through a sword, but that works too. Stakes through the heart. And cut off his head. And did break through a sword.
Looks like you got ahead of yourself.
Really? And you stole his glasses? Not cool.
Blade tenured no longer. I'm surprised. I figured with Blade's many years of comic book history, he'd have the edge.
Believe it or not, Buffy is actually in more comics than Blade.
Really?
Bruh.
Man, Blade can't catch a break.
Let's break this down into
Yeah.
4 categories. First up, stats. Buffy's lifted much heavier things and survived more significant explosions.
Like, sure, Blade's strong and all, but he isn't literally fucking buildings apart like Buffy.
Scaling to the
Fair.
monsters they fought, compare
Buffy scales to nearly a dozen power feats across media that exceed any of Blade's scaling. In Chaos Bleeds, Buffy's sword, the Hope's dagger, harmed the god of evil, dispersing its consciousness across all dimensions of reality.
Dracula creating a storm that covered Boston, to the Sorrow Demon creating a storm that covered Los Angeles, a city over 5 times larger. You might be able to compare Blade to Spider-Man like Miles, who absorbed a bomb that could blow up Harlem, but that's significantly weaker than Whistler containing a blast that could wipe out London. They could both dodge light beams, but that does
Blade scales to Cyclops and Daredevil, who are stated to react in nanoseconds, while Buffy scales to Oz, who is stated to react in micromilliseconds. Both statements are likely hyperbolic, or no, that's hyperbole, isn't it? I don't know. And would be equal to each other regardless.
doesn't keep Buffy from taking the overall edge in stats.
Blade's used to being the odd man out, though, so his versatility is just as important.
With Blade's numerous powers and massive arsenal, he certainly could have overwhelmed the more straightforward Buffy.
Machine guns and magic swords are generally gonna beat out crossbows and morning stars. Not to mention, he actually wears armor.
Also, Blade's faster healing factor
Boything's armor would not resist the Slayer Scythe's spatial cutting or power absorption. While his ability to burn anyone who feels fear was able to hurt the Silver Surfer, Buffy's supernatural courage would most likely resist this.
and immunity to traditional vampire weaknesses kept Buffy on the back foot for a time. Blade wins versatility.
But when it comes to skill, Buffy's got plenty of experience fighting armed opponents barehanded.
Both of them were masters of a similar number of martial arts.
And Blade has been kicking vampire ass for a century, way longer than Buffy's even been alive.
While Blade may have more personal
Will Blade knows of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and according to Marvel Midnight Suns, it's his favorite show. Let's be real, he hasn't read the novels.
experience. Buffy's ability to draw on Slayer battles dating back to the Stone Age, at least 40 times older than Blade, gives her the superior skill. Even then, they both had weapons and abilities so powerful they could end the fight instantly, regardless of all else.
They're trump cards. Fortunately for Buffy, she actually countered almost all of what Blade could throw at her.
Withstanding Blade draining her energy with his bite? Check.
Resisting the Hellfire shotgun destroying her soul? Check.
Preventing Blade turning to mist and
the Shadow Demon is described as mist and smoke, and Buffy repelled it from entering her body. She also beat her version of Dracula, who would turn into mist by timing her strikes between his shapeshifting.
Floating her from the inside out? Check.
Meanwhile, Blade had no way to survive, say, Buffy's...
The Scythe's powers mean Buffy can't be sealed away and can't resist the magic nullification of Blade's Atlantean sword.
Gorgon venom turning him to stone.
And even with the deadly and just plain gross breathing gun, Blade did not have anything as potent as the Slayer Scythe. It could easily deflect the breathing gun's bullets back at him.
The breathing gun's homing bullets have been stopped before, like by Madcap. The gun also can't hurt holy beings. Given Buffy's powers are angelic in the novels, the gun may not work against her at all.
Or use its space-cutting ability to slice through his unbreakable adamantium sword.
Don't believe us? Even Wolverine's adamantium skeleton was cut in half when a portal closed on top of him. That's the same kind of thing.
And Wolverine's beta adamantium skeleton is a much tougher version of the same metal.
Oh, and since the Scythe could kill Silas, a multiverse devouring god, I think you could take down Blade with a big enough swing.
Giving Buffy the final advantage over the Daywalker.
Really thought Blade had a chance, but Buffy sure put a damn fear on things.
The winner is Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Damn. Sucks for Blade, I guess. Oh well. Put up a good fight though, that was a pretty good one.
Offside.
Of course they're gonna do this shit.
It is truly the superior.
Offside.
Alright, next up, it looks like we've got Dante versus Clive. He's the one from the new Final Fantasy, I believe, Final Fantasy 16, which I have not played. I thought it kind of fell out of the Final Fantasy games because part of the draw for me was that they're like they were turn per turn games. You know, I like RPGs, but I like that they had the old school turn per turn feel, and then they made them more action oriented. It's not a bad thing. It's just it's not what I prefer when I want to go play a Final Fantasy game. You know, that's not what I was expecting. It'd be like not knowing what Pokemon Snap is about, and you go and like buy Pokemon Snap to play Pokemon Snap, and instead of battling and catching and training Pokemon, it's taking pictures. You know what I mean? Like, the only difference there is that it's in the title, whereas like Final Fantasy, it's just been Final Fantasy. It's always been turn-based. Final Fantasy Tactics was just a different kind of turn-based. And then all of a sudden, Final Fantasy like 15 comes out, and it's like, boom, we're not turn per turn anymore. Anyways, I'm gonna go with Dante. They have had him on here before, fighting Bayonetta, and he did win that fight. And then, you know, we also had his brother show up. But yeah, I think Dante can probably pull off the win here. I don't know what Clive's abilities are. All I know is that he can either like summon or become or something, like one of the summons from the Final Fantasy games. I think that was like the mechanic or like the thing of 16 was that like they transform into them or something. like I said, I've never played it. I've seen just like bits and pieces and stuff from trailers and stuff like that. So, but Dante fights giant monsters all the time. That's like his bread and butter.
Dante vs. Clive.
DMC's Devil Hunter versus Final Fantasy's Shield of Rosaria. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
It's a dangerous world out there. Cultists, demons, and evil businessmen lust for power. And every day brings a new cataclysm humanity must face.
This world may seem like the end, but for a devil hunter like Dante, it's party time. Who'd expect anything less from the son of the legendary demon Sparta?
A dark knight who, thousands of years ago, woke up to justice and sealed away the demon lord, Mundus.
But then Sparta mysteriously died, and his wife got iced by some demons, leaving Dante and his brother Virgil separated.
Despite a long-gone family, Dante kept a chipper attitude and set up a business dedicated
maybe a bit
to
too
one
chipper.
thing.
Killing demons? And with the blood of Sparta running through him, he's the best in the business.
By harnessing his own demonic energy, Dante bolstered...
Full name. Dante, height 6'2" or 187 centimeters, weight 184 pounds or 83.5 kilograms. Is in his 40s. Also known as Tony Redgrave. Is a human-demon hybrid. Likes pizza, Sundays, Nero, and parties. Dislikes demons and Mundus. And the May and Zero May Cry.
His speed, power, and durability, letting him block kaiju-sized punches, move faster than a meteor,
and regenerate like an unstoppable force of nature. As long as he has the energy, he can heal from getting shot, stabbed, sliced through. Basically anything.
Even without his regeneration, he's survived heat that would reduce the layman to ash.
But no hunter is complete without an arsenal, and Dante's got one hell of a sword left by his dad, Rebellion. Plus ebony and ivory, 2 magic pistols with endless ammo clips, and they say the perfect
that shit
gift
never runs out of
doesn't
ammo.
exist.
It's pretty impressive.
Dante's full arsenal is far larger and stranger.
Like King Cerberus, a shapeshifter.
Devil Sword Dante, Ebony and Ivory, Agni and Rudra, Alistar. Sorry about that. Alistar, Artemis, Balrog, Beowulf, Cavalier, Cerberus, Coyote A, Dr. Faust, Gilgamesh, Grenade Gun, Ifrit, Kylina Ann, and Kylina Ann 2, King Cerberus, Lucifer, Merciless, Missile Launcher, Needle Gun, Nightmare Beta, I'm assuming that is. I think that's the symbol for Beta. Nivon, Pandora, Shotgun, Spiral, and Vendetta.
Set of elemental nunchucks, Cavalier, a pair of buzzsaws that are also a motorcycle, Balrog, fiery fisticuffs for boxing and capoeira, and Navan, a guitar, an electric guitar.
There's also
Literally.
Lucifer, a backpack of endless laser swords that Dante got after slaying... Actually, we never see how he beat Lucifer.
Yeah, you know someone's a badass when they
Wait, what?
off-screen.
Also, Lucifer, a backpack of endless laser swords that Dante got after slaying... Actually...
Why? How do you have Lucifer? Beryl had seen Lucifer many times before. Just as Beryl ruled the fire hell, Lucifer was king of another section of the underworld. He knew him. He was a noble demon who would never do humanity's bidding. I dealt with him on my last job. I got this after I won.
We never see how he beat Lucifer.
Yeah, you know
Bro.
someone's a badass when they off-screened the actual devil.
Yeah,
Here's
like
my
the
fave,
fuck?
Dr. Faust, a sentient hat that turns Dante into basically Orville Peck. Oh, and shoots crystallized demon blood.
Dante needed this and much more when he got a warm welcome from the brother he thought long dead. And a twist of fate, Virgil was alive, but went down a very different path.
While Dante was partying, Virgil studied the blade, seeking the power he needed to exert his will, even if it meant killing his own brother. Something he came close to doing in their first meeting.
Yeah.
But the defeat only spurred Dante's awakening.
He learned to teleport using Trickster, slow down time through Quicksilver, and double team foes with Doppelganger.
With a slick pose and the right timing, he can Royal Guard dang near anything, then use the absorbed energy to armor up as a Dreadnought.
And then there's Devil Trigger.
Transformations. Devil Trigger, Majin Devil Trigger, which is, basically Demon Devil Trigger, because that's what Majin stands for. Sin Devil Trigger, Superhuman Speed and Strength, Air Hike, Doppelganger, Dreadnought Regeneration, Quicksilver, Royal Guard, and Teleportation.
A super form Dante achieves through his supernatural power.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
His inner demon, Dante
He used
can
that
fly
against
and gains an
Bayonetta.
enormous boost in speed and power.
Naturally, his rematch with Virgil went very differently, and
Yeah.
that was far from Dante's peak.
When Mundus got up to his old tricks, Dante battled the Demon Lord in a vast sea of stars, a universe Mundus created on a whim. Even later, Dante one-shot a stronger alternate future Mundus.
Attacking Mundus in his own keep had proven a masterstroke. The creature could scarcely comprehend the assault. His supremacy was supposed to be absolute, the sole ruler of creation for timeless eternity. Yet here was an arrogant trespasser human, no less, who had power equal to his own.
Who had completely merged with the demon world.
So he's kind of a big deal. Literally.
Devil May Cry manga and novels specify the human and demon worlds were once one, then were split into two separate universes.
Mundus became a living universe just for Dante to shoot him in the face.
Then there's Argosax, a god so astronomically intense, he had the power of every other demon in existence.
Oh, sorry, I missed that tidbit.
God so astronomically intense, he had the power of
Overlord of Chaos that one time held in his hands most of the demon world and subdued many demons, but defeated by Sparta, was waiting for the time of resurrection, possesses both forms and abilities of every demon.
every other demon in existence, a divine deity of the sun that Dante also shot in the
face.
Oh, that guy! I completely forgot about him.
Funny, so did Dante. Despite how powerful Argosax was, he was just an insignificant Tuesday to Dante.
So it's safe to say Dante had become the strongest around. But no amount of style, pizza, or wahoos could fill the hole in his heart. Sure, Virgil was a power-hungry weeb, but he was still his bro. Beneath Dante's antics, killing the last of his family kinda messed him up.
Until he learned his family wasn't as gone as he thought. It turns out he had a nephew, Nero, who Dante would help get into the family business in his own unconventional way.
And for dead weight, Nero was pretty badass, even helping Dante take on the so-called Demon King Urizen. Nero's Devil Breaker arm can
Mundus and Dante flew into the atmosphere of a neighboring planet, though the time frame is unclear and given generous estimates put it under some of his other best feats.
fire light speed lasers that Dante and Virgil had dodged.
Dante and Virgil can already dodge lasers in their base forms, but when charged with enough demonic energy, they can outright blitz beams over 11 times faster than light.
Nero even survived getting melted down while inside a living statue. It's a long story.
And that's the same sort of regeneration that Dante has, meaning he can survive being...
According to the Devil May Cry 5 guide, Nero's arm couldn't regenerate because Virgil removed Nero's demonic power. He regained his power later and immediately regrew his arm.
Turned into a puddle.
So Dante was ready when Virgil somehow returned. Again. And made an apocalyptic demon tree for what else? More power!
With the entire world now on the line, Dante had to get serious and fully embrace his human and demon sides alike by stabbing himself.
Holy shit, Dante has been impaled so much, he decided to make it how he powers up. So he got his greatest weapon, Devil Sword Dante, and became Sin Devil Trigger.
Just one look, and I felt so hard.
Charlie's having a friend over.
Aww.
This is Dante's demon energy at its peak. He can fire lasers with Loose, obliterate with the fires of judgment, and surpass even the legendary Sparta.
But although Dante was totally
Outsped Nero's Petal Ray, survived the Quiplith tree with Virgil, withstood bombardment from meteors, shook a miles-wide cavern when fighting Urizen, survived Virgil's space-cutting judgment cut, sliced thousands of raindrops in less than a second, defeated Void Mundus, Aerosax, Abigail, Nightmare, and Virgil.
Match for Virgil, neither of them would budge on their ideals. Both were destined to duel until one was dead forever.
But thanks to Nero and 2 well-placed bitch slaps, they got some sense knocked into him.
Dante realized that if he couldn't make Virgil abandon his ways, he might as well keep an eye on him. In one fell swoop, the two severed the world-spanning demon tree and prepared for a permanent departure to the underworld.
You can choose your friends, but not your family. But if that's what it takes to keep Virgil safe, or rather to keep the world safe from Virgil, Dante will deal with it. And all things considered, he's happy slugging it out with his bro. Maybe happier than he's ever been.
Proof that as long as you have the human drive, even hell can become a paradise sweet enough that a devil may cry.
Whiz, it's an emergency! This fight's gonna have a banger soundtrack, but my headphones broke!
Well, good news. Your mute black eye. And tell a man
Thought it was actually something important. Just a fucking ad.
Sit down as we tell the tale of the kingdom of Rosaria and its prince, Clive Rossfield, a man destined to be a dominant, the host to a mighty guardian icon.
Anybody who's a dom can draw on magic life juice called ether, becoming a big scary monster.
And commanding
Fun.
the element they embody to create storms, slay armies, and split the sea. Dominants are forces of nature, and Clive would be the dominant of the Phoenix.
Well, he was supposed to, but Big Bird's
Full name, Clive Rossfield, whatever the fuck. Age 33, height 6 feet or 183 centimeters, weight 184 pounds or 83.5 kilograms. Roles: Dominant of Ifrit, Shield of Rosaria, likes Joshua, Jill, Torgal, and Theater. Dislikes Annabella and Discrimination. The guy from Tekken 8. Was he in Tekken 8?
said no thanks and instead picked his sick little brother Joshua. Parents don't play favorites, but I guess ancient monsters can.
Despite the rejection and a deep loathing from his mother, Annabella, Clive and Joshua were only kind to one another. Clive saw the burden his brother bore and accepted his blessing of the Phoenix in hopes of becoming Joshua's shield.
Meaning he learned a bunch of magic. He can shoot fire, teleport with Phoenix Shift, and took down this beast before he was even out of puberty.
Even without
that was a Malboro.
Clive's a capable
Those things
swordsman,
pretty impressive.
able to boost his speed and perception with precision dodge. But it wasn't enough when Annabella betrayed Rosaria for the Empire of Sanbreque. In one night,
What a
Clive's
cunt.
knights, people, and his own father were slaughtered before him.
Quick,
What a
someone use a Phoenix
bitch.
down.
Those aren't in this game.
Well, that's unfortunate. But the Phoenix icon sure is, because the trauma of everything made poor Joshua lose control.
Clive wanted nothing more than to help his brother, and perhaps this desire awakened the icon that was in him all along. The fiery beast, Ifrit.
Boy, is Ifrit a wild one. Just standing nearby will incinerate the average Joe. It can make fire barriers, regenerate lost limbs, decimate foes with a flaming spirit bomb, and shatter a walking mountain.
The downside being Clive couldn't control it. He didn't even remember becoming Ifrit, or battling the Phoenix in a fight that reduced everything he loved to cinders, leaving Joshua presumed dead.
If that wasn't
Damn.
bad enough, dear old Ma found him the next day and made him a slave to Sanbreque's army. Clive spent 13 years wallowing through life, searching for Ifrit's host for revenge, only to learn the one he wanted to kill was himself.
This revelation hit Clive like a phantom train. He thought death was all he deserved for taking the lives of Joshua and so many
Damn.
others. Even so, there
Pretty
was
sad,
a light
bro.
at the end of the tunnel. No, not like that.
Thanks to his friend Jill, the outlaw Sid, his doggo Torgal, and a very therapeutic battle with his self-hatred, Clive learned to carry the torch for his brother. fighting the real problems plaguing his world: crystals and racism.
In the world of Valisthea, prejudice is alive and well for bearers. Basically, anyone who can use magic without special crystals.
So what better way to dismantle the system than to help fellow bearers and destroy the mother crystals ruining the planet, all while picking up some nifty abilities.
Through a mysterious power that lets him absorb icons, Clive took Garuda, an avian with sharp slashes and sharper talons. From Sid, he received Ramuth, so he could summon lightning.
From his bae Jill, he got Shiva to
Final Fantasy 16 Ultimata confirms Eggkanok abilities like Rift Slip and Diamond Dust manipulate time, as opposed to Precision Dodge, which heightens Clive's speed and perception. Yeah, while in action, you will be invincible and time will stop flowing for everyone except Clive until the end.
freeze lava and even time itself. With Titan, he can block and absorb blows with earth-shattering fists. From this Dragon Prince, he got Bahamut and some deadly lasers.
And through Odin, he can slow the flow of time and slice apart the fabric of space.
Damn.
Looks familiar.
With these powers, Clive stepped up to
Swords. Invictus, Gator Damarog, Omega Weapon, Original Sin. Limit Break, increased strength and speed and a healing factor. Ifrit, over 20 meters tall, enhanced regeneration and attacks and defense with fire. Ifrit Risen, flight, homing fire blasts, and light speed. And other icons are Ifrit, Phoenix, Garuda, Ramu, Titan, Bahamut, Shiva, Odin, Leviathan, and Ultima. They didn't talk about Leviathan or Ultima.
lead the bearers, and even reunited with Joshua, who was alive all along. Surprise!
Clive spent 5 years freeing the land and became hot as hell while doing it. Well, no, not well, yeah, that way, but also through Ifrit. By using part of Ifrit's power, Clive can set himself aflame, activating Limit Break to boost his abilities.
But Limit Break is far from Clive's limit. After absorbing the Phoenix essence from Joshua, he became Ifrit Risen. Now fully in control of the monster that had tormented him, he embraced his role as a shield for his brother and friends.
Just in time to battle in space, block a planet-wiping blast, and overpower this dragon at the speed of light.
That's no exaggeration. Ifrit Risen is literally stated to move at light speed. Not surprising when Clive has intercepted lasers over 3 times faster than that, and overpowered Omega, a god-slaying weapon that can destroy, and I quote, all of creation.
But what made Clive strong enough to do all this? You know, besides the majestic man cleavage.
Turns out, Clive's birth was orchestrated. He was intended to become the vessel of Ultima, an ancient, all-powerful being that created humanity, but abandoned them after they developed free will.
Meaning everything that happened was the fault of one person, God, the bastard! But Clive wouldn't be a puppet. If God was in the way of humanity's freedom, then God was gonna die.
Easier said than done.
No shit!
Ultima was stronger than anyone Clive had faced, able to warp all of reality to create a universe. But Clive had a secret not even Ultima foresaw. Over his journey, he developed a special state of mind, Logos.
AKA someone powered by human will and the bonds of consciousness with others. Okay, that sounds like anime friendship crap, but trust me, it made Clive a badass who could surpass his limits, getting stronger over the course of just one fight.
So much so that, despite struggling against Ultima initially, by the end of the fight, Clive took out Ultimalius, a more powerful amalgamation of Ultima and his entire species, all while Clive was in his base form.
Ultima literally became Ultima squared, but Clive still kicked his ass. Using his bonds with his brother, his friends, and his unbridled will, Clive killed God in a giant 999,999 damage punch! Okay, so it really was the power of friendship after all. Man, this guy's got a future in shonen.
Well,
fair enough.
I don't really know what...
Intercepted Bahamut's light rays, vaporized a large tsunami, shattered Titan Lost, destroyed a meteor with Joshua, withstood hits from 2 billion ton rock tentacles, overpowered the planet wiping Zeta Flare, defeated Titan Oh, Jesus, what is with my voice today? Defeated Titan, Bahamut, Odin, Omega, Leviathan, and Ultima. Keeps like cutting out of nowhere.
Whether he lived or died, though, doesn't really matter. It was his journey and the world he created that made his life meaningful. Clive's dream of a future where everyone can live and die on their own terms had become a reality.
And his stories were written up in a book by a certain Joshua Rusfield, which he titled Final Fantasy. The battle's coming up next, so call your winner now, folks. Just like our sponsor, DraftKings.
The NBA season on court basketball.
That's Cody.
I think Dante's still gonna win this. I'm hoping he does anyways.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Go get him, Dante. Really?
When your cat's running the easy way with new Friskies,
at least it's happening at the beginning of the fucking fight. But seriously, what the fuck was that lady wearing, guys? That was weird.
Hey, I heard your fiery friend is causing trouble, and I'm in the business of dealing with trouble.
Leave now. I have a god to kill. The last thing that will stop me is a demon.
Look at Dante, man. Can't take anything seriously.
Fancy yourself a bard.
Damn. Dante is just chaining attacks. And now he's move walking. Finally. Bro. Just giving up all of the punches.
No hiding in the shadows anymore, Smokey. Time to see the light.
Oh. Fucking block that shit. Oh. Yeah. Pretty much what I expected.
What the hell is that?
That is a motorcycle. You fucking peasant.
Virgil's got some competition.
Probably. Uh-oh. Maybe he could beat Virgil, but I don't think he's beating you. Come on, Dante.
Still holding out on me? Let's see what your monster can really do!
So the devil cries for more. Let's give him everything we've got! Joshua!
Give him all you got, Dante. Damn, going into outer space.
I won't underestimate you!
Bitch, Dante doesn't underestimate anybody. He's the one that gets underestimated. Just because he looks like a regular party dude. You get him? they're both still alive, bro. These guys are tough. Damn, they're still going.
Please, just once. I need more. It's been a bash, Smokey. I need Ifrit!
Oh, did he get him? He beat Dante. Damn.
Not bad. Not bad at all. After a fight like this, that guard will be nothing.
Damn.
Okay, that was a whole nother level of close, but I think we got the point.
This was not an easy call to make. Dante and Clive matched each other so closely, it was hard finding a definitive advantage either had. This is best explained through 3 categories, starting with stats.
Both
Alright.
Dante and Clive could easily beat up universe-busting threats.
Yeah.
Rose and Ultimalius could create universes at a whim, and Dante and Clive defeated them sans their own super forms. Dante and Clive could both
'cause they're
consistently
built
intercept
different.
lasers at faster-than-light speeds.
And Dante could always amp up with demon juice to briefly outspeed Clive anyway.
But Clive could match that by boosting his own speed and reflexes through precision dodge. Both were so beyond the pale that neither could definitively overpower the other.
Still, given their crazy powers, you'd think one of their abilities would break the deadlock.
Not so much. Dante and Clive could generally match each other blow for blow, be it to teleport, slow down time,
Dante's sealing abilities could help, but have specific location requirements requiring a connection between the human and demon world, making its usability unlikely.
flash freeze the other, block and absorb hits, etc.
And Dante could survive the intense flames of Ifrit. He's dealt with heat like that before.
Though Clive did not have a perfect match against Doppelganger, he did have more methods of manipulating time, both more reliable and abusable, in addition to defensive measures like Ifrit's barrier to fall back on to outlast powers like Doppelganger.
But their super forms evened out. Any edge Clive could get from, say, Limit Break or Ifrit Risen, Dante could match with Devil Trigger or Sin Devil Trigger.
In the end, both have answers to most of each other's powers, making
Damn.
it still anyone's win.
Which is why it came down to one major factor: endurance. Just how long
And
could these two keep at it?
While Dante's super
they
forms could
keep at it for a long
undoubtedly
time.
Clive's, there is an emphasis in story and gameplay that they expend a lot of demonic energy.
The longest Dante has battled in Devil Trigger against someone his equal is about 6 minutes, and abilities like Doppelganger, Quick
Dante's Devil Trigger may be above the 6-minute time limit by Devil May Cry 5, but not Sin Devil Trigger, which only lasts a few minutes. Moves such as Judgment instantly revert Dante to his base form.
Silver and Sin Devil Trigger burn through it even faster.
Clive's time in Ifrit Risen isn't limitless either, but it can last longer, fighting for tens of minutes if necessary. But given how close this match is, it's vital. If Ifrit Risen catches Dante outside of Devil Trigger, it's over.
I know what you're thinking. Dante's crazy tough. His healing factor's way better than Clive's. Clive can regen lost limbs, sure, but Dante can heal from getting reduced to a puddle. Couldn't he just tank Ifrit's attacks?
Well, yes, but also no. This is where context is everything. While no doubt impressive, Dante's healing has been overcome in the past because it is tied to how much energy he has. Less demonic energy means a less potent healing factor.
Like when he got knocked out for a month straight by Urizen, only surviving thanks to a constant source of demon blood. Hell, overtaxing demon regen?
After his defeat in Devil May Cry, Birdo's regeneration took years to complete. Throughout Devil May Cry V, V would decay without constant use of demonic energy. The more he used it to regenerate, the harder it was for him to heal over
Is
time.
how Dante killed Virgil in the first place.
Even if we assume Dante could get a second wind, it's always possible Clive could get one too, becoming even stronger from pure willpower, just like when he fought Ultimalius.
So, for as tough and persistent as Dante was, Clive was able to endure just that much more to get the final edge. The devil was in the details, but Clive's victory is no fantasy.
The winner is Clive Rossfield.
Damn. I'm having no luck today. Blade died, Dante died. Damn. Bad episode for me, guys. Alright. Up next we have got Ash versus Yugi. Pokemon versus Yu-Gi-Oh! I love both of them. I play the Pokemon games. I've played the Yu-Gi-Oh! Games and the physical trading card game. Um, I actually have, maybe I'll link it in the description. I recently just started a Instagram channel, or not channel, like an Instagram account, and I'm just posting um when I post a new video and stuff to try to get more people to come check them out. But I have also been posting like my card collections and stuff. And on there, one of the first ones I did, I posted my Yu-Gi-Oh deck. I also just recently did a YouTube video where I showcased my Yu-Gi-Oh deck. So yeah, I am a bigger Yu-Gi-Oh fan than Pokemon, but I like both. So I think I'm gonna go with Yugi for this fight. I think he's probably gonna win this. I just feel like I mean, I guess it depends on how they decide to do this. I don't know, like, is he gonna have to, like, is it gonna be they picked a certain amount of Pokemon for Ash, and then Yugi can only use a certain amount of, like, monsters or something? Like, I'm not sure how the fight's gonna be. But if they're just, like, throwing rules out the window and it's like a free-for-all type situation, then it's gonna be Yugi for sure, because on top of the monsters, he's got, like, spells and traps and crazy combos and stuff that I just don't think Ash will have any counters for stuff like that. But we'll see what happens.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
We got Pikachu and Dark Magician for sure, so hopefully it's not just a one-on-one fight between that.
The biggest question from the playground: Pokemon
Oh,
or Yu-Gi-Oh?
he's got a team. Yugi's got a team.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
So I saw teams, but
This is a big episode.
Is it specific teams or he's got spells and traps? Okay, so yeah, I think Yugi's gonna win this then.
Mad Mushroom's newest game, Night Swarm. It just
Sorry, come on, guys. I'm here for the video.
Hello there. Welcome to the world of Pokemon.
Oh, the kids get their first one at age 10. If you don't sleep in like Ash Ketchum from
You fucking loser.
Ash wanted to be a Pokemon.
But because they mentioned the whole sleep in thing, I'm sure people might end up mentioning. I mean, it's been gaining popularity for some reason recently, I think. But anyways, some people might mention that there's a theory that Ash never. It was never that he slept in. He was always gonna get Pikachu because in one of the movies that isn't even fucking canon, he went back in time and because of Celebi, and he met Professor Oak as a kid, and they became friends, and he knew all about Ash and Pikachu, and so he like planned it all from the very beginning. And it's like, no. I mean, not only is the movie not canon, but like, I mean, theoretically this makes sense, but that's why it's a theory, and it's just a bad theory. Like I was saying, like, not only is it non-canon, which already puts a big hole in your theory. There's the fact that, like, when they meet him, I'm pretty sure they're the same age, so that would make Oak like 10 years old. You're telling me that when Ash actually meets him, when he's an old man who's like 80 years old, he remembers meeting Ash and Pikachu 70 years beforehand. Are you fucking kidding me? Tell me, do you remember every random kid you guys met at 10 years old? I don't. And it's only been 15 years for me. I couldn't tell you any of the kids that I knew when I was 10. Maybe like 3. And it's because I hung out with them like every day. They were my friends. Ash and Oak didn't hang out for every day. They hung out for like a day or something. Didn't they? And then like Ash went back to his timeline. Like, what the fuck are we talking about, guys? Telling me a fucking 80-year-old man remembers one kid in a Pokemon he met 70 years ago? No. I'm calling bullshit. Dude can't even remember what his own grandson's fucking name is. Anyways, Ash has been 10 for 25 years. Is 4'7" or 140 centimeters. Was born in Pallet Town. Is the champion of Alola and the World Coronation Series Monarch. Is some of the key items he has are a Rotom Dex, a Rotom Phone, a Z Power Crystal, some Z Crystals to go with it, a Dynamax Band, a Mega Glove, Lucario Knight to Mega Evolve his Lucario, and a Rainbow Wing. He likes Pokemon and Pokemon battles, training, catching, leagues, summer camp, contests, showcases, movies, races, ping pong, sumo wrestling, eating contests, and Poke Ringer. Also, whichever Poke Girl companion you happen to watch while growing up. Because they didn't mention Pikachu here. Pikachu happens to like ketchup. I just want to point that out. That's what he likes when they list likes and stuff. There's also a National Ash Ketchum Day on September 15th.
Pokemon Master, though he didn't really know what that meant yet.
How about
coming up
taking
soon,
down your
couple
rivals
months.
to be the very best, like no one ever was? Better than Gary and his dumb groupies.
Well, Ash knew he'd find his answers at the Pokemon League tournament.
So Oak hooked him up with the electric mouse, Pikachu. And what? He's your problem now, stupid.
Pikachu was...
Alright, so they'll be using Pikachu.
The new duo had a rocky start, but after an intense first day together, the rest, as they say, is history.
25 seasons, over 1,200 episodes, and
Yeah.
the cornerstone of 2000s culture. Ash spent
Yeah.
decades as a 10-year-old on the great Pokemaniac journey.
We should note, we are prioritizing the anime that Ash is from, which often differs from the original games that inspired it.
Ash is equipped with tons of Pokeballs and an all-knowing Pokedex. That's also a Pokemon. But in a fight, Ash usually chooses Pikachu. Give the yellow-red enough voltage and you'll...
Oh, here we go. Now they're talking about Pikachu. Electric type, resists electric and steel type attacks, can absorb electricity to power up, weak to ground type attacks, is immune to paralysis. Ability, static, physical contact may induce paralysis. Moveset, Thunderbolt, Iron Tail, Tackle, Agility, Leer, Thunder, Double Edge, Electro Web, Volt Tackle, Electro Ball, Quick Attack, and Thundershock. And like I said, loves ketchup. See, I fucking told you.
I'll regret it. Even ground types that would be immune to electric attacks in the games can't stop what this Pikachu dishes out.
Yet
Yeah, it's
somehow
bullshit.
Ash is just fine after repeatedly getting zapped by this same electricity. Over time, Pikachu learned Volt Tackle, Electro Web, Electro Ball, and...
Pikachu, use Thunderbolt! The
Every
perfect
episode.
attack for outgoing flamboyant thieves and air balloons. Looks like they're blasting off again.
So clearly the anime doesn't follow the game rules. Like when Pikachu shot himself with his own thunder while on Swellow, who, you know, is vulnerable to lightning.
But
Yeah, that doesn't make
somehow
sense.
They used thunder as a super armor. He even learned
Not
how
how
to
that
deflect
works.
attacks by just spinning really fast. Whee!
Whee!
Speaking of fast, Pikachu has intercepted lightning, but Quick Attack increases that speed even more.
And his Iron Tail really pairs well with Ash's offensive style. The guy plays crazy, opting for big damage over stalling.
Ash's style is so unusual that when a robot scanned his tactics, it exploded.
As the great philosophers put it, if it works, is it still stupid?
Ash and Pikachu's bond
I
is
mean,
magnetic.
maybe.
It brought them new allies, Misty, Brock, Serena, just to name a few.
But they
the
won't be
stubbornness
here
and crispy
because
bikes, They
That's
are loyal friends.
that's not how a death battle works. It's one-on-one.
Just collecting dust in a shiny hunting box.
Well, I guess technically it's not one-on-one because it's going to be a bunch of Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but still, no companions allowed. Those are the rules, guys. Don't break the rules.
His league ID won't let him carry more than 6 at a time, but if he needs them, they'll all come running.
Water types like Squirtle and Lapras are key in seafaring fights, and Ash can combine their water attacks with Glalie Ice Beam.
One time, his Weasel got frozen while using Aqua Jet, which is fine. Now he's using Ice Aqua Battering Ram.
Grass types like Bulbasaur and Torterra induce status effects and heal with Synthesis.
But Sceptile's a menace.
Hell yeah.
So you got a big, scary Darkrai. Eat this Leaf Blade Smeargle
Fuck
Victo.
you.
Or that's what I would say if Tobias didn't action replay a freaking
Yeah,
videos.
fucking dude
I'm
was
gonna win,
cheating,
4
for
Kids.
sure.
Well, 4Kids just did the localization. They didn't write the show.
They just get me heated. Almost as much as Infernape's Flare Blitz. Then I'll set my Inferno to overdrive, get my revenge, and Incineroar.
Ash had a fiery passion for reaching the top ASAP, but Charizard wasn't on board. Pursuing pride over packs, Ash lost the Viridian Force for the trees and fumbled the Indigo League.
Harsh lesson, but one he needed. Ash started bonding with Pokemon at a deeper...
Grass types. Bulbasaur, Bayleaf, Sceptile, Torterra, Snivy, Livany, and Rowlet. Fire types. Charizard, Quilava, Torkoal, Infernape, Pignite, and Incineroar. Water types. Squirtle, Kingler, Lapras, Totodile, Corphish, Buizel, Oshawott, Palpitoad, and Greninja. Flying types. Butterfree, Pidgeot, Noctowl, Swallow, Staraptor, Gliscor, Pheasant, and Talonflame. He released Butterfree though. And I thought he released Pidgeot too. So should they even count? Charizard I don't think he ever released. He just left him with someone to train. And the fact that they're listing all of them, does that mean, like, is he gonna be using all of them? Like, how is that gonna work? This is gonna be a crazy fight.
Motivated them to dodge light speed moves like Solar Beam and Psybeam.
Charizard came around.
I mean, I don't know about Psybeam, but I guess technically, yeah, Solar Beam would technically move at light speed since they're absorbing sunlight and firing it. Never really thought about that. It's pretty crazy. I mean, I guess Pokemon is technically an anime, so everybody moves light speed in those. Fighting types. Primeape, Heracross, Scraggy, Hawkchilla, Lucario, and Sirfetch'd. Again, Primeape he gave away, right? He gave him away to that fighting guy to become like a fucking fighting champion. Rock, Ground, and Steel types. Dolphin, Lavatar. He has a Lavatar? Or a Larvitar or whatever? That's pretty cool. Bulldor, Crocodile, Lycanroc, Solgaleo named Nebby, and Melmetal. Damn, dude's got a couple, like, legendaries. Okay. Dragon types, Gibble, Goodra. Hell yeah, Goodra's great. Noivern, Naganadel, Dragonite, and Dracovish. And other types. Muck, 30 different Tauros, Mr. Mime named Mimey, Snorlax, Glalie, and Gengar. And actually Mr. Mime is not Mimey, it's his stepdad. He calls him Dad.
Dude, he's the last one you want to see on the field. Even if you have a Blastoise like Gary, Ash will call for the most unexpected signature move.
Seismic Toss! The people's...
While Solar Beam explodes on impact, it explicitly absorbs sunlight for its beam. In episode 31, Diglett is said to pull its head underground faster than light speed. Unless that's backed up in the Pokedex, I don't know if you can use that as fact, but the Solar Beam thing, yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like, it does technically use sunlight, so I guess it would technically be a light speed beam.
Elbow a Pokemon. Charizard's so strong, his flamethrower melts boulders.
Fuck yeah, you can.
The world is wild.
Ash's
Yeah.
Pokedex spells it out. Vanillix causes blizzards. Magikarp leaps over mountains and into...
And this is the thing I want to point out. This blurb right here. Professor Oak's Pokemon Holocaster is referenced by James in X and Y 92 and X and Y 05. In X and Y 05 and X and Y 86. These episodes and end segments are shown to be broadcasted on TV, proving them canon. Meaning, basically what that's saying is Professor Oak does a show where he talks about the facts of Pokemon. The facts he talks about are the same facts that are in the Pokedex. He is the leading researcher of Pokemon in the Pokemon world. And this is being broadcasted around the world to everyone. Meaning that this is essentially like a Bill Nye the Science Guy type show, where the stuff he's telling you is scientific fact. Like, these are actual things that are happening. These are real events and shit, and real abilities that the Pokemon can do. So for all those people who read the Pokedex and go, oh, well, you can't go off with the Pokedex because that doesn't make any sense. Apparently it does. These are canon scientific facts. I don't know how they make sense, considering Pokemon like Markargo or whatever are hotter than the sun. I don't know how our world doesn't burn up and explode, or how people can touch it. But then again, I don't know how Ash can survive being blasted in the face with a fire that can melt stone, and that's been shown in the show that that's true. They showed the clip just a few minutes ago. So it's like, people are just built different in the Pokemon world, I guess.
Space. Dusk Noir pulls souls into the spirit world.
Oh, and Pikachu cleared a storm as wide as an island. Gotta catch 'em all. Surfetch, Butterfree, Heracross, Scraggy, and Rock Palpitoad, Torkoal, Snivy.
With new regions,
That was
new
funny.
flying
I like
types
that.
Pidgeot. On land, Ash has physical offense like Melmetal and Crocodile, and Gibble will drop Draco Meteors on anyone, but mainly Piplup.
You want physical? Look at Ash. This twerp somehow carried around a Cosmoem,
Bakura
which
from
canonically
fucking-
weighs over a ton. Oh, and
Like,
this
what?
huge log that's basically a whole tree, which can physical. Look at
Is that Bakura? Is that Bakura from Yu-Gi-Oh? What's he doing here?
Ash. This twerp somehow carried around a Cosmoem, which canonically weighs over a
Yeah.
ton. Oh, and
It
this
happened.
huge
That
log
makes
that's
it canon.
basically a whole tree. He chucked it like it was nothing.
Yep.
Ash can choose his own hands if he
Oh.
wants, and he does a lot. Maybe his secret is watching the Minnesota Vikings.
Resilience is the bare minimum to HMO1 cut it in the tall grass. Humans and Pokemon must protect and enrich each other's lives.
Like Mimey, the Mr. Mime back home who mind boggles you with Reflect, Light Screen, and Psychic. Yep, that Mr. Mime. The stepdad who Ash caught in a Pokeball and brought
Yeah,
home.
like I said, it's his dad.
Oh, so that's how it works.
Ash figured out new ways to bond with his pals with Aura. It's a life force that interacts with souls and links Ash with Lucario.
This jackal excels at CQC and shoots steel beams and aura spheres. And with Mega Evolution, Lucario's power surges enough to defeat champion Cynthia's Garchomp.
A Mega would have been handy at the Safari Zone when Ash accidentally caught 30 Tauros.
Yeah.
And he keeps hugging them. Ash, they're bulls.
And see, he's just fine after stuff like that. Like,
Guys. But boy, does it suck to see him lose the Pokemon League over and over again. Kid, just turn the hat backwards and lock in.
That'd be
strength
fair.
is not in battle theory, but his nurtured bonds. He knows Pokemon feelings better than anyone. With Greninja,
Yeah.
Ash learned to synchronize their senses and movements, transforming him into Ash Greninja.
It comes with a huge power increase, but there's a catch. Ash shares Greninja's pain. Ash
Yeah.
price to pay for the ultimate water shuriken.
Ash Greninja ran the ones with Champion Diantha's Mega Gardevoir. And just a normal Gardevoir can conjure black holes.
Ash's Pokemon and teamwork get along like rice balls and jelly-filled donuts. They saved the world from Lysander.
Ash and his Pokemon resisted Lysander's mind control thanks to their bonds. James Inkay similarly escaped Malmar's control, the strongest hypnotic Pokemon.
Who tried to kill all life. They fought the giants. The Reggie kind, not the New York ones. Who halted Reggie Gigas, who can tow entire regions.
Ash's team battled Steven Stone and Alon, who fought the terraforming primal forms
Fucking
of
a
Groudon
lot.
and Kyogre.
Yeah, don't get me started on Alon. Ash did everything right, but no, Greninja still lost to his Charizard after only getting hit 3 times. How does Blast Burn beat Water Shuriken? Get your type charts right, 4Kids.
Boomstick,
Wasn't
4Kids
4
weren't even
Kids.
around anymore when this aired. Regardless, after his loss at Kalos, Ash traveled to Alola and beyond to train. And thanks to some really delicious soup, his new Gengar Gigantamaxed.
Hide you, Gengar!
I needed cash fast. I filled out a quick application, got approved, and walked out with money. It was that simple.
You interrupted Kaiju Gengar, you fuckers.
Playgrounds with no drug injection sites nearby. We're making
Oh my
every
god, it's not
corner
even
of
gonna give me a
Ontario
skip ad
safer
button.
to
It's gonna
make
play
all
through
of
all
Ontario
of this
safer.
bullshit.
That's how we protect Ontario.
He haunts foes with G-Max Terror, or even swallows them up. I bet it smells nasty in there.
Ash and Pikachu
Probably.
also scored a buff with their Z move. All they need is a power ring, some JoJo poses, and Thunderbolt will evolve into
10 million volt Thunderbolt! This rainbow lightning is their ace. You see this coming? You're cooked. Absorb electricity? Cooked. Fused with an Ultra Beast? Cooked.
Ash journeyed so much that monsters from another dimension are nothing to him.
Damn.
Naganadel is a poisonous sniper, and Solgaleo is basically the sun god, a
Yeah.
legendary Pokemon whose Sunsteel Strike lights up the universe.
Blast Team Rocket off almost every episode. Thunder obliterated most of Triangle Rock, exceeded Conway and Clembot's calculations. Solgaleo can light up the universe. Pikachu once helped halt Dialga's Roar of Time. Ash and his Pokemon have dodged lightspeed attacks, won the Orange League, the Manual Conference, and the World Coronation Series, has defeated Gary, Brandon, Paul, Cookie, Iris, Wallace, Steven, Cynthia, and Leon.
Ash got a god in his bag for just being a nice dude. Smell you later, Gary.
In fact,
Yeah,
when
fuck
Ash
that
and
guy.
friends band together, they can halt Dialga's Roar of Time. And Dialga literally controls the concept of time. Is there a legendary Pokemon he hasn't befriended?
But it all
I don't think
started
so.
with Pikachu, so it was gonna end with Pikachu. In the Tournament of Champions and Alon, Ash faced the #1 trainer. Finally, after 3,000 years, we're free! 4Kids, let my boy win! Yes!
Only because they wanted to
Ash
have
did his
people
best, and he
protagonists.
had no regrets. Now free to hand over his torch to new bright-eyed trainers.
Ash realized that, to him, a Pokemon Master was someone who was friends with every Pokemon. So he and Pikachu threw a stick in the air and walked the way it landed, because in the world of Pokemon, the journey continues. If you
I like
wanna
that
travel
ending.
the world like
It's a good
Ash, or
ending for
look as
Pokemon.
right this,
Easy to welcome. The Ascent Leather
and by Frag,
a quick turn.
I mean, at least for Ash's story anyway.
Many a theorist have tried to solve the mystery of ancient Egypt. What was the secret to such a glorious civilization?
time travel, the divine hand, aliens? Nah, they were gamers.
Egyptians
yeah.
played games with sorcery. These magical ceremonies punished dark hearts with swift death. The Shadow Game.
No, Wiz, they were banished to the Shadow Realm. Wink.
Sadly,
The Shadow Realm does not exist. That was created by 4Kids so that they didn't have to talk about the fact that people were dying. Okay? Can we get that? I just want everyone to know that. That was why he did the wing. People in Yu-Gi-Oh! Were just dying when they got sent to the Shadow Realm. That was it. They are dead. They died.
the way of the Shadow Games was lost across time and the pieces of the Millennium Puzzle. It's said the one who solves the puzzle would pass judgment on evil. And in the modern day, Yugi Moto reassembled it and wished for a friend.
Oh, and he got his wish.
Yugi was a shy kid that
18 years old, 5 feet, or 153 centimeters, 92.5 pounds or 42 kilograms. Can we just talk about the fact that these guys are short as fuck? I mean, I guess Ash is 10, but dude, you're 18 and you're only 5 feet, and you weigh less than 100 pounds. You need to go see a doctor or something. Home city is Domino City, champion of Duelist Kingdom and Battle City. Is known as the King of Games. Likes dual monsters, toys, hamburgers, leather, games, puzzles. His grandpa Solomon and his other half Yami. Friends with Bobo, which I some weird ass like crazy manga or whatever. I'm pretty sure like Yugi Moto or Yami or the Pharaoh or whatever just kind of popped up out of his like hair or head or some shit at some point.
Helped run his grandpop's game shop.
But little did he know that completing the puzzle would link his spirit to an ancient pharaoh.
Yami,
Who was a bit of a dick at first.
And always on demon time while doing so. He's anime Jigsaw.
Yeah.
Yami wants to play a shadow
What's his
game.
nose?
Whether it's griddle air hockey, Mario Party with chloroform, or the game that would take his world and ours by storm, Duel Monsters.
It's a summoner's war. Time to send monsters to the graveyard and take your foe down to 0 life points.
When Yugi's grandpa was kidnapped by the deranged CEO Seto Kaiba, Yugi knew it was time to knock him down the only way he knows how, playing a children's card game.
And for
Hell
his
yeah.
help, Kaiba was given a penalty game. Lose or cheat against Yami at your own peril.
Yeah, dude,
With the
don't fuck
puzzle,
with him.
Yami can punish you in some serious...
Yami, also known as Dark Yugi, spirit of an ancient pharaoh, resides inside the Millennium Puzzle. Puzzle abilities: barriers, clairvoyance, illusions, penalty games, which you do not want to be a part of, probability manipulation, monster summoning, shadow games, sealing, and telepathy. And yeah, this right here, probability manipulation, that's how he's able to pull the cards he needs when he needs them. Like, that's what his heart of the cards is.
seriously messed up ways. Illusions of being set on fire, swapping your soul, or the infamous Mind Crush.
The Millennium Puzzle is far more than force hallucinations. It brings monsters to reality, forms barriers, manipulates probability, and seals away spirits.
You can't buy this.
Others have used penalty games at will to incapacitate their victims, but Yami doesn't resort to this unless he wins a game or catches someone cheating.
And 6 other Millennium items are juiced up by ghosts.
Despite Yami's
Yeah.
retribution, Yugi wasn't aware of this darker half. Yami had amnesia, so he didn't know himself either. But after a run-in with enemy Millennium Ring user Dark Bakura and some seriously hardcore LARPing, Yugi
Yeah.
and Yami learned each other's shtick and made the dynamic duo.
With friends Taya, Tristan, and their left leg Joey, Yugi and Yami were ready for anything.
Because Yugi had a great early deck. Monsters for offense, spells for
Yeah.
effects, and traps for setups. Oh, and
I don't know if it was great. I mean, it was good for the era, I guess. Like, well, everyone back then was just kind of throwing shit together, it seemed like, in their decks, you know? So, it was good back then.
early deck. Monsters for offense, spells for effects, and traps for setups. Oh, and Exodi. Oh,
Oh,
there they
yeah,
go.
Okay,
no.
if Yugi's deck is so good,
But if they're giving him at his peak, technically, he should have Exodia. Like, he should have access to any cards he's ever had. If this is, like, you know, those are the rules of Death Battle. You take them at their strongest. So, him at his strongest would be when he had access to, like, every card he could possibly ever have access to.
why isn't it the meta? Put me in, coach. Face my 2,000 card.
Even if he even if he has to pick 60 from them or whatever. Like, that's still, it would still be pretty OP or whatever the fuck. Like, he would be able to pick all of his best cards still. Especially if they don't have to follow the rules of Yu-Gi-Oh! And you can just summon out whatever. Which it kind of seemed like. Based on the little clip we got at the beginning of Pikachu and Dark Magician fighting.
Don't be too quick to judge. Yugi's
Alrighty, here we go. Normal monsters. Alpha, Beta, and Gamma the Magnet Warriors. Beaver Warrior. Curse of Dragon. Dark Magician. Feral Imp. Gaia the Fierce Knight. Gazelle the King of Mythical Beasts. Giant Soldier of Stone. Horn Imp. Jack, Queens, and King's Knights. Komori Dragon. Mammoth Graveyard. Summon Skull. Winged Dragon Guardian of the Fortress. Effect monsters: Archfiend of Gilfer, Big Shield Gardener, Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning, Catapult Turtle, Karibo, Lengard, Marshmallow, Mystical Elf, Silent
A very
Magician.
clever strategist. His style works best at maximizing the use of so-called terrible cards.
Yeah, cool.
Effect monsters continued. Dark Magician Girl, Dark Magician of Chaos, Electromagnetic Turtle, Exodia the Forbidden One, Gandora the Dragon of Destruction, The Trickery, Time Wizard, Toy Magician, Toy Soldier, Valkyrian the Magnet Warrior. And there's a lot more. Those monsters aren't even scratching the surface. Fusion monsters: Arcana Knight Joker, Chimera the Flying Mythical Beast, Dark Paladin, Gaia the Dragon Champion. Egyptian gods: Obelisk the Tormentor, Slifer the Sky Dragon, the Winged Dragon of Ra, Horakati the Creator of Light.
Story whiz, but what's he gonna do about the 3 blue eyes Kaiba's got aiming at his dome?
Simple.
Infinite
Summon the
Karibo
monster card
Shield.
Karibo and have it multiply. With a 1,000 strong meat shield, a dragon's breath is a gentle breeze.
Well,
Infinite Karibo
okay.
Shield.
Didn't know Yugi had that dog in him. But
He
how
does.
about Brute Force? Buster Blader and Celtic Guardian are sick, nasty swordsmen. Summon Skull shoots bolts of lightning, and the Giant Soldier of Stone can destroy moons.
Time Wizard's better. It's a living clock that fast forwards or rewinds a local area of time, turning monsters to infants or...
Yugi did give Time Wizard to Joey, but he has used it in his decks, such as in the novel Automatic Giant. And now, Time Wizard. Yugi summoned another card to the field. He planned to draw out Kaiba's trump card from the Time Wizard card. A dazed-looking magician appeared, raising his magic wand. Time Magic. Yu-Gi-Oh! Novel Automatic Giant, Japanese translated.
Wizards into wise sages.
Speaking of wizardry, you can't have a Yugi deck without his right hand, Dark
Magician.
and his apprentice, Dark
Magician
Girl.
Girl.
Both are masters of dark magic, and Yugi often pairs them with the damage redirecting magic cylinder.
Hell yeah.
Thinking with portals.
Magic
There's
Cylinder's
support
great.
monsters, too.
I've won
Catapult
so
Turtle
many
is a
duels
bot
with that
with
card.
a cannon that literally launches other monsters. And when Yugi comboed it with Gaia and Swords of Revealing Light, which immobilizes monsters, they brought down an entire fortress. Wait, that's not how the card game works.
Don't
Is he
question it.
cheating?
Well, we're prioritizing the
Kind
manga
of.
and anime over anything else, which can differ from the real-world card game.
Yugi also has tons of spells.
Alrighty, spell cards. Holy fucking shit, that's a long ass list. Aria from Beyond, Berserker Soul, Book of Secret Arts, Bounce Spell, Brain Control, Burning Land, Card Destruction, Change of Heart, Curse Breaker, Dark Hole, Dark Magic Twin Burst, Defusion, Despell, Diffusion Wave Motion, Dimension Magic, Excalibur, Fiend Sanctuary, Gold Sarcophagus, Graceful Charity, Horn of the Unicorn, Light Force Sword, Lightning Blade, Magic Barrier, Magic Blade, Ice Sword, Ice Formula, Magical Hats, Maku the Magical Mist, Marshmallow on Glasses, Mirage Spell, Monster Reborn, Monster Reincarnation, Monster Recovery, Monster Replace, Multiply, Mystic Box, Mystical Space Typhoon, Owner Seal, Polymerization, Pot of Greed, Pump Up, Ragnarok, Soul Release, Soul Taker, Swords of Revealing Light, Thousand Knives, Toy Box, and Turn Jump. Jesus Christ.
Cards. Monster Reborn resurrects a fallen friend. Turn Jump is a time skip, and Pot of Greed lets Yugi draw 2 more cards, like Pot of Greed, which lets him draw 2 more cards.
Really?
like
Come on.
If things get dicey, he has more trap cards to level the field.
Alrighty, Traps, Ambush Shield, Chain Destruction, Dark Renewal, Dimension Guardian, Dimension Mirage, Dimension Reflector, Dimension Sphinx, Dust Tornado, Fit of Rage, Magic Cylinder, Magnet Force, Metamorphosis, Mirage Ruler, Mirror Force, Mystical Raft Panel, Negate Attack, Nutrient Sea, Relay Soul, Sand Fortress, Shift, Soul Shield, Spellbinding Circle, Time Seal, and much, much more. I mean, yeah, they haven't even scratched the surface of... I mean, they didn't mention the fucking Eye of Timaeus. Or, I don't think they mentioned the Dark Sage. Or fucking... Like, technically he's used Red Eyes Black Dragon before, so they could have used that along with the Red Eyes, with the Black Skull Dragon. Like, it's You know what I mean? It's fucking crazy.
Like Dimension Sphinx, which reflects damage directly back at the opponent's life points.
And if his monsters and life points get wiped, he can just press Ctrl-Z with Mirage Ruler to get them all back.
Pair these cards with Yugi and Yami's teamwork, and nothing could stand in their way. Not even the game's own creator, Pegasus.
Get this, Pegasus can read minds. So
Because
in
you're
their
a cheating
duel,
asshole.
Yugi and Yami kept swapping souls Freaky Friday style, trusting each other to pick up on the strategies they left behind.
And it worked.
The mind reader was stumped. Yeah, they cheated.
No, Pegasus was reading their minds.
Yeah.
Regardless, Yugi and Yami are an excellent dueling pair. Yami trusts Yugi to improve on his plans, while Yugi expects Yami to be his bolder half.
They're not just smart. These card-slinging geeks are somehow expected to be fit enough to dodge lasers, resist getting their souls ripped out, and survive attacks from duel monsters. Even the most common duel monster can cause tsunamis, rain down meteors, and wreck cities.
And all of this power culminated in Battle City, hosted by Kaiba Corp.
Because Kaiba really wanted that salty run back against his rival.
Salt only surpassed by Yami's biggest hater, Merrick, who wanted the 3 Egyptian god cards to take him out. These cards were Slifer,
Like for this Sky Dragon.
Roth, the God
Oh,
Phoenix,
God.
and
Oh, what?
Obelisk, who strikes with the power of infinity.
This was a different ball game altogether, but Yugi was starting to stand on his own 2 feet.
So Yami and Yugi kept dueling on in a battle city that never wants to end.
Yeah,
Stop
no.
bullying Joey. But to claim the
Yeah,
Egyptian gods,
that's-
Yugi and Yami had to face them in duels, pulling off some ridiculously high IQ plays.
Skip.
When battling Slifer, they used a handful of weak cards to create an
Oh, yeah.
infinite combo of attacks that went past the god's limits.
And later, Yugi combined Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl's magic into Black Burning Magic, promptly defeating Ra.
This ain't new for the magicians. In the movie
Yeah, no,
Bonds
they're
Beyond
crazy
Time,
powerful.
they did something similar against Paradox. It's kinda crazy that together, the magicians can defeat the 10-star gods, which are way stronger than mid-tier monsters that are 5 to 9 stars.
Mid-tier cards aren't pushovers. Darkhold Dragon is a sentient black hole, planet alignment moves solar systems, and Jaden's Glow Neos destroyed a relativity field that spawned an entire universe.
But at the
Several feats use holographic monsters, but these monsters and their abilities become real without alteration through Millennium items. Ka and Ba, the Dual Disc version 3, and other such methods, making such feats applicable.
top would be the great evil god Zork, who showed up to plunge existence into the realm of darkness. It was time for Yugi to finish the puzzle of who Yami really is.
If the monsters weren't real before, they sure were now. Everyone has soul energy, Ba, which manifests as Ka, or a spirit. When used in tandem with the bonds of his cards, Yugi can will dual monsters into reality, even drawing anyone he wishes by believing in the heart of the cards.
I knew it! He's been cheating all this time! He doesn't just make up rules, he's stacking his deck!
Not at
Kinda.
all. For Yugi, drawing the card he needs isn't just luck, it's an actual skill that he developed. It's
Yep.
even expanded in following series like GX
Yeah, it
and
is.
5Ds.
Okay, well, I'd be the king of games too if I could just decide I have a royal flush every round.
Whatever.
That's not what happens, though. It's a skill, and it takes energy and concentration, which is why when they do it, there's always a moment where they, believe in the heart of the cards, and they put their, it's slow and dramatic, and then they pull the card and look at it, and there they go, they got it. It's not something they can do every single draw. They, it would drain, like, your duelist fucking spirit and shit. It's something you have to learn. It's something you can't just rely on for every single draw. It's like a once in a duel kind of moment.
Yami rediscovered his Egyptian past, his multiple lifelong bonds, and his real name, Atem. Claiming his place as the ruler of the afterlife, Atem fused the Egyptian god cards to summon Harakti, the creator
of light.
He's the ultimate duel monster who banished Zork and all of his scary darkness for good. The epitome
Yeah, fuck that
of,
guy.
screw you, I win.
No kidding.
Kinda. Has dodged light speed lasers. Harakti's light created the multiverse. Atem blocked a full power blast from Zork. Overcame Pegasus's mind control, mind reading, and other tricks. Whenever I see mind, I always go for mind control. I guess it's just overused in fiction lately. As Dragon Master Knight once caused a blast that was visible from space, destroyed the Millennium Ring as it enveloped all of existence in darkness, has won Duelist Kingdom, Battle City, and many other tournaments, has defeated Pegasus, Merrick, Dark Bakura, Kaiba, Agami, Zork, and Atem. Yeah. So, based on just these feats, I'm pretty sure Ash is fucked. Like, he's about to get wrecked.
Harakti created Yu-Gi-Oh's multiverse
But
with that same
sucks to be
light.
him.
Judgment had passed. Across many duels, evil was vanquished. There was only one more thing left to do.
A post-game boss duel between Yugi and Atem.
Their
Yeah.
farewell was both climactic.
Upon relearning his name, Atem gained full control over the Egyptian gods, including Harakti. Should the situation ever arise, he can call on her power again. Which is basically saying, yeah, she's gonna show up and fuck up Ash's shit.
And bittersweet. Yugi had grown as a duelist and a person. His victory proved that he no longer needed Atem's help to be his bolder half.
Even when Atem was an entire dimension away or busy slapping the end of existence, he and Yugi would always be bros. Okay, it should have been me, not him. I'm sorry I called you a cheater. I was jealous. You're so cool.
Yugi moved on to a career in game design and passed the torch to future duelists. He would be remembered as the greatest duelist there ever was.
Except to Kaiba, who tried to ascend to the afterlife to rematch Atem. Goes to show you that money can't buy you happiness, but it sure can buy you a sweet rocket ship.
There will always be another story, another duel, another game. And you won't find yourself a better opponent than the king of games.
The Battle of the Millennium is about to start, but we wouldn't be able to make it happen without some help from our friends at Raycon.
Central
Second ad.
We're
Wait,
happy and
isn't this like the
customers
third ad or
via
something?
Set20.com, December 5th. Data through all possibilities. All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
Before we start, let's lay some ground rules.
We're treating this
yeah.
as a real-time fight, much like typical battles in the Pokemon anime and duels later on in the Yu-Gi-Oh anime. And given that the rules of Pokemon and duel monsters are clearly incompatible, we'll allow them to summon anything that's reasonably
Oh
available
shit.
to them.
It's time to death battle!
I like that he did that. But yeah, that's so based on those rules, Ash is fucked. Yugi can summon anything he wants. Like, I mean, Ash can use, I guess, any fucking Pokemon he wants, but he can summon anything he wants without sacrificing, play spells and traps however he wants without following the rules. Like, yeah, Ash is fucked. And it's all real time. It's harder to control a bunch of Pokemon than just place a bunch of cards on a fucking dual disc or something. I love this. That was a great opening. Oh my, are you fucking kidding me?
More than your mission.
The ads lately are fucking ridiculous. Oh, this song, man.
You okay, Pikachu? This 4-on-4 is tricky. Hang in
4 on 4? What, is that it?
But I have Lightning Blade and Excalibur to boost my attack, and I set one card face down to end
If
my
this is a
turn.
4 on 4 and this is all Yugi picked, he's probably fucked.
Guys, it's our turn now. Pikachu, throw him up with quick attack. Everyone else, back him up.
This music though, bro.
Great job. Now, Thunderbolt.
Oh shit.
Don't get ahead of yourself. You forgot about my face down.
Oh.
Rise, Dimension Snake.
Trap card, bitch. Where'd that crocodile go? Oh.
Oh, I get it. Good thing we brought them all, right, Pikachu?
What do you mean them all? Oh shit, he brought all his Tauros. Oh shit, he brought everybody. Oh damn.
Charizard, I choose you.
Hell yeah. Oh, easily broke through the fucking. He melted him. That's funny. fucking song in this battle, man. This is crazy. I get why they had fucking 3 ads or whatever. This one was probably a fucking pain to make. Fucking Karibo with the W there. Damn, everything's happening so fast. Oh shit, Sogaleo. Charizard's out for the count though. Oh, we got fucking Slifer, bitch. You're fucked now. Oh, Nick. Oh, shit. But, oh, Gengar. Kaiju. Oh, shit. Oh, nice. Fucking Demon Yugi getting some fucking screen time. Fucking Gengar's like crying, bro. Oh, what? Oh, shit. Did he break the puzzle?
I'm sorry, partner. Don't worry. It's my turn now.
Oh, this is bad. Oh, never mind. You're fucked. In the heart of the cards. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Who's that Pokemon?
Haruxi, goddess of light! This is it! Magicians, flash burning magic! Haruxi, Joser!
Oh, you are so fucked, son. I like the Who's That Pokemon reference though. The screen like lit up like this fucking show and everything. Oh. Oh, no backup. You are fucked, son.
Pikachu, let's finish this together.
What do you mean, let's finish this, bro? I mean, good on you for not giving up. Oh, that was sick. But you're fucked. Oh wait, this is the move that cooks everyone, right? There's no way. Oh yeah, you forgot about it. Yeah, you threw a face down. Oh, you got fucked. Blasted you with all of his power and your power. That was awesome. That was a great ending.
Awesome duel, Ash.
You're fucking right it was, Yugi. That was great.
Oh, my childhood.
Fuck your
I need
childhood.
your tears. We can save him.
There's a lot to this, so let's break it down by experience, strategy, and monsters. Starting with experience.
Right.
Ash and Yugi have risen to the top, beating the best of the best, and traveled all over the world.
But
Wait,
Ash traveled
yeah, I was
more,
gonna say,
in more tourneys, and saved the world
he
way
should
more
have
often.
more
And despite
experience.
what people say, he wins a lot.
Even Atem's stint as the Pharaoh doesn't tip the scale since he wasn't in charge for very long. Plus, Pokemon evolve over time, literally and figuratively. While Yugi's deck is obviously adjustable, the cards are unchanging, unable to grow like Ash's Pokemon.
Yeah.
So Ash wins in experience, but
Also, despite the Pharaoh being 5,000 years old or whatever, he wasn't active or doing anything for those 5,000 years. He lived a regular human life until the shit went down with the Shadow Games. And then he locked himself in the puzzle along with the Shadow Games so that, like, 5,000 years later, they could be, you know, he'd be around to help. He was just kind of stuck in a puzzle for 5,000 years. He wasn't improving. He wasn't, you know, dueling people and getting stronger. He was just waiting. So, like, that doesn't tip the scales either.
when it comes to strategy, he's a wild card.
He's skilled at improvisation and using the environment to win. Even machines cannot comprehend his tactics.
But the same goes for Yugi.
Yeah,
Gotta remember,
dude
Yugi and
just
Atem's
making
teamwork
shit up
is
on the
second to
spot.
none. They're masters at exploiting weaknesses, setting up tricks, and surprising foes with so-called weak cards.
Both could likely adjust to each other's unpredictability,
So,
a
Kai?
Dark Horse-style win was unlikely.
But Ash's secret weapon is his bond with his Pokemon, boosting their power. I'm not just talking about Pikachu. His power of friendship invented an evolution for Greninja.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Ash's trust in his Pokemon knows no limits.
Silly as it may sound, Yugi trusts his deck in the same
Yeah.
way. The heart of
To
the
him,
cards
they
is
are his
real, and
friends. His cards are real, and they deserve his respect and his love and stuff. They're not just pieces of paper that he tosses away. Gengar's original trainer once claimed that he causes misfortune, but this is actually false. Gengar's only method of cursing is his cursed body ability. Tem can bend fate and even defeated an opponent with supernaturally good luck, so it doesn't matter in the end.
Yugi is determined to support his monsters with spells, traps, and buffs. Look at his duels with Merrick and Paradox, where he bolstered his weaker cards to take down gods. With Ra and Ka, his bonds with his cards manifest them into reality, not so dissimilar from Ash Greninja.
Yeah, Ash has aura, but he never
mastered it.
And specialties like Mega Evolution and Gigantamax, while awesome, only work with specific Pokemon.
And since Ash focuses on offense,
it is unlikely Ash's Pokemon could overcome Yugi's attack, disabling, and redirection cards. Pokemon moves are affected by things such as Disable, and Team Rocket's Wobbuffet regularly reflects Ash's attacks. This includes his Z moves, which have been overpowered, such as by Guzuma's Gallo Speed. And this is, he's got 173 attack moves, including Z moves, and max moves to only 39 status moves, which not a good balance.
Far more than support, Yugi could control the pace of the fight with cards like Swords of Revealing Light and Magic Cylinder.
But I know some
Magic
of you are
Cylinder.
asking, what if Ash threw hands? The kid's strong enough to chuck trees and lift baby gods.
It wouldn't help.
Punch him, man.
Really?
Well, Yugi's similarly tough.
Yeah,
and the Millennium
that's him
Puzzle can
tanking
make
fire
shields
from the
and steal
Egyptian god,
ghosts.
actual
Absolute-
fire. Ash could attempt to destroy Yugi's cards or his dual disc, but Yugi has too many defenses for him to actually reliably do this. And Yugi also requires neither to summon monsters. Yeah, Bakura has proven that point, that with a Millennium item you can just pick up a card and summon it, or you can just, manifest the freaking spirit that you want.
And mess with minds. If Ash actually tried to punch him, it'd be Mewtwo all over
Yeah,
again.
bro would
It's a
get
close
wrecked.
call, but Yugi takes the edge in strategy.
Oh, nice.
So it all
Thought they
comes
were going to make it a
down
tie.
to the monsters. Yugi had a slightly larger pool of monsters, but Ashes can clear out island-wide storms, fight terraforming beasts, and are stronger than the black hole summoning Gardevoir.
However, Yugi's can rain down meteors, compete with larger black holes.
Ash struggled against Dialga, Palkia, Mewtwo, and Lugia during Journeys. Cynthia's Garchomp had her Draceo meteor easily stopped by Palkia's spatial rend. Even with generous scaling and favorable interpretations of Ultra Space, Yu-Gi-Oh's multiverse is infinite and contains dimensionally transcendent spaces such as the Afterlife, Perennial Realm, and etc., surpassing Pokemon's cosmology. A gravitational field of unsurpassed strength sucks in surrounding matter, not allowing even light to escape. Conversely, it is said that it sometimes ejects surrounding matter at extreme speeds, forming monsters. This comes from Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel.
And even the mid-tiers scale to Glow Neos, destroying that relativity field with a universe. And Herakti created Yu-Gi-Oh's whole multiverse, surpassing even Solgaleo's Sunsteel Strike and Dialga's Roar of Time.
And well, he hasn't used the cards they mentioned, Gravity Dragon and Space Neo. They're bringing them up because mid-tier monsters should scale to each other. That's why they're all mid-tier and why their attack points would be similar. They scale to each other. If a Dark Magician is strong enough to take on something like a Gravity Dragon, then he's strong enough to take on other Pokemon. Or, strong enough to take on Pokemon who can take attacks from Gardevoir, which can create black holes.
Yugi had more than just monsters on the field. Ash's strength was also his weakness. His power was evenly spread, reliant only
Yeah.
on his remaining Pokemon.
If Mr. Mime faints, no more psychic barriers. If he
Yep.
lost
In Mystery Dungeon, a Gengar resurrected someone by pulling their soul out of the afterlife. Ash's Gengar has never displayed this ability, however, and Yugi has ways of stopping resurrection, including banishment and soul destruction. This would also stop Ash from resurrecting using the Rainbow Wing.
Lucario, no more Mega Evolution, and so on. The longer the battle went, the less Pokemon Ash had, and he did
Yep.
not have a reliable way to bring them back. He doesn't carry revives on him, and even then,
Nope.
reviving Pokemon in the anime is entirely different from the games.
Yeah, it's like
Meanwhile,
bringing them to
Yugi
a
had
hospital
cards
and
like
shit.
Mirage Ruler and Monster Reborn that could instantly recall powers he's lost.
And he can, you know,
An alternate version of Ash appears in Pokemon Masters EX. Including such scaling, though, wouldn't surpass Yugi's best feats, and would suggest that Yugi should get stuff from things like Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, which would expand his options to even greater heights.
band Fate to draw whatever card he wants, and we didn't even cover them all.
No.
Really, Yugi's deck has no pathetic cards.
Exactly. Yugi's versatility and power swept Ash's options, giving his monsters the lead. He just needed the right moment to knock Ash stone cold.
That was a good attempt at a pun, Wiz. You might not think it's Pharaoh, but Ash got Yugi owned.
The winner is Yugi Moto.
You're damn fucking right it is. That was a great battle. Like, really, that was the music, the fight, how it looked like it was like Ash was about to lose, then he was about to win, and then Yugi played a trap card and turned it all around. That was a great one. I see why they had fucking 3 goddamn ads or whatever, because like that probably took a lot of effort and a lot of people to do all of that. So good on you, Death Battle. You guys definitely deserve your fucking 6.5 million subscribers. Hell, you deserve more. Up next, we've got Ichigo versus Yusuke. Bleach versus Yu Yu Hakusho. I think we've had someone from Yu Yu Hakusho before, and I mentioned I've never watched it. I've watched like a little bit of Bleach, but I never really got into it. So I don't really know who would win this fight. So I don't think I'm gonna pick someone for this one. I'll just let it play out and see what happens. But this I believe is like the start of their battles for this year. Yeah, February 8th, 2026. So this was the beginning of their newest season. Ash versus Yugi was the end of last year's stuff, and this is the beginning of this year's stuff. So getting closer to the most recent stuff.
Ichigo Kurosaki versus Yusuke Urameshi.
The substitute Shinigami of Bleach versus the spirit detective of Yu Yu Hakusho. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Tell me, Boomstick, what happens when we die?
Endless nothingness? Jeez, man, I don't know. We just started.
Our souls are ferried by Shinigami, gods of death, in an eternal cycle of death and rebirth.
That was my second guess.
And when a
Sure it
soul
was.
goes astray, warped by evil and regret, it's a Shinigami's job to purify such violent hollows and send them off to the realm of the dead, the Soul Society.
Works great till it doesn't. Enter
Yeah.
Ichigo Kurosaki, whose tragic anime backstory.
Name Ichigo Kurosaki. Age 29 years old. Height 5'11" or 181 centimeters. Weight 145 pounds or 66 kilograms. Occupation substitute Shimigami and translator. Candidate to replace the Soul King. Trained by Urahara, Orochi, the Visored, Enshin, and Squad Zero. likes chocolate, Shakespeare, or a hime, and Japanese name can be read as strawberry.
Story came way too early when his mom was killed by a hollow. Reason number one why you should never want your kid to be the anime protagonist.
Left with his grief, young Ichigo was crushed under the weight of survivor's guilt.
So he lashed out the only way he knew how, beating people up.
But this wound began to heal when he found his calling, upon meeting a Shinigami named Rukia. To stop a powerful hollow, she gave Ichigo her powers, rousing unseen potential within.
Boom! Just like that, Ichigo's a Shinigami.
Substitute Shinigami. To carry out his duties, Ichigo sheds his body for an invisible one made of spiritual matter called Reishi. He can wield vast amounts of spiritual energy called Ryoku and exert it offensively in the form of spiritual pressure, or Reiatsu.
Okay, that's a lot of big words, but all it...
While Shinigami are invisible, they are not intangible and can be touched by normal people. This was stated in Chapter 9 of the manga, though the Viz translation mistakenly says otherwise. Did it? I watched some of the show. I don't know if it was the Viz translation, but I watched some of the show, and like there was a whole episode where like I thought a guy who's just a regular guy, he was hitting the Shinigami because people were like pointing it out. Like I feel like I remember that they were like it's right there, and he would like punch, and because he had like abnormal strength, he was hitting it and like knocking it around and stuff.
Really means is he's a super-powered ghost with an epic sword. His spirit aura is so strong, it can stun lock foes, crushing them under his own power, even fatally.
He controls spirit matter in and
Immense Ryoku, Ryatsu Pressure, Ryoku Sensing, Getsuga Tensho, Shinigami Skills, Zenjutsu, Shumpo Hakuda, Rishi Manipulation, Flight Blue Vein, Zenjutsu, Fusion of Shimigami and Hollow Powers, Quincy Zenjutsu, Manifestation of Quincy Power.
Around him, hardening his skin for defense and leaping off of invisible footholds in the air. Paired with speed-boosting skills like Shunpo, he can virtually fly.
Say goodbye to the kid who beat up bullies for their lunch money, and hello to the town's new superhero, with fellow Ghostbusters Orihime, Chad, and Uryu. Plus Rookie
Yeah, that guy.
with fellow Ghostbusters Orihime, Chad.
This guy, he's a regular dude, but he was like punching like the Shinigamis or whatever in the face, or the hollows in the face or whatever.
And Uryu, plus Rukia. It was the Shinigami's job to tear hollows a new hole.
While balancing responsibilities at school, of course. GPA comes first, and maybe a round
Yeah.
or two of tech.
But it wouldn't be possible without his Shinigami blade, a Zanpakuto. It's basically a super-powered spirit that's physically a sword. Ghost Sword!
Though strangely, Ichigo's sword is composed of two distinct spirits, both named Zangetsu, which isn't confusing at all.
Just call him Old Man Zangetsu and Hollow Zangetsu. Anyway, the double Ghost Sword gives Ichigo lots of new moves, including his trademark attack, the Sword Beam to end all Sword Beams, Getsuga Tensho!
Getsuga Tensho is incredibly powerful, and so effective that Ichigo developed multiple variants. He can fire it as a wave, detonate it mid-attack to act as a barrier, and combine two at once into the even stronger Getsuga Jujisho.
To cut even the biggest hollows down to size, Ichigo was ridiculously strong, even from frame 1.
He can make giant shockwaves and parry spiritual light beams from a Menos Grande. And these aren't fake, slower-than-light lasers. Guidebooks confirm they're real light, and the novels say so too.
Plus, early on, Uryu moves so fast.
Other FTL feats include Arion Arrow dodging sunlight, lieutenants dodging Negacion beams, Nano evading Little Barrow's light of judgment, and Liloto dodging Yawak's Waslin. Why are these names so fucking confusing and hard to say, man?
Shadow behind.
But as Ichigo became more involved with the
Wait,
Soul
he
Society,
what?
books confirm they're real light, and the novels say so too.
Plus, early on, Uryu moves so fast that he left his own shadow behind.
Bro.
But as Ichigo became more involved with the Soul Society, he quickly found that he wasn't good enough.
Yeah, that's usually how this stuff goes.
It's so hot. It's not always easy to switch off.
It's so hot. What? I'm having company over.
No, you're not, and
Alright.
it doesn't matter. Just
Sweeten the
eat
small
whatever
stuff.
you want. It's fucking
This
whipped cream,
Byakuya
not
guy's so
drugs.
fast, Ichigo can't even see him. Time for a good old-fashioned training arc. Hit the music!
Until now, Zangetsu had operated only in its base state, Shikai. So Ichigo learned to release its inner power, a 10 times boost that takes most Shinigami a decade to master.
Bankai! In Bankai, his speed skyrocketed, letting him turn the tables on douchebag Byakuya. Even in Shikai, he blocked an attack that could destroy the whole frickin' Soul Society.
Because Ichigo's greatest gift...
True Shikai manifests two Zenpaku, Getsuga Jusyo, Half Hollow, fusion of Shimigami, Hollow, and Quincy powers, high speed regeneration, and Zero Circente. True Bankai, Tensai Zangetsu, 5 to 10 times stat boost. Other forms include Hollow Mask, Full Hollow, Full Bring Shikai and Bankai, Skullclad, Final Gegetsu, Sugetsu Tensho, also known as Mugetsu.
is his potential to improve. Despite only being a teenager, he mastered swordsmanship well enough to thrash experts who had been training for centuries. He can quickly adapt to new weapons and styles mid-fight, surpassing his limits time and time again.
Like when he took on Catboy Grimjow. He was getting clamped, but as soon as he heard Orihime cheering him on, that was all he needed to smash that kitty.
You mean Grimjow, right?
Yeah, but even with that main
Sure.
character energy, Ichigo couldn't match Big Bad Aizen. With just a finger, Aizen stopped Ichigo's Bankai.
And his
theme
music,
song.
yeah.
Rude.
Ichigo needed to tap into his
Even I know about that
hollow
shit.
power. Except Hollow Zangetsu wasn't going to make it easy.
Old man Zang's pretty chill, but this guy's a menace.
Still, Ichigo needed his help and conjured a hollow mask to expand his power. But this meant the hollow within only grew stronger.
Masked up, he can fire lasers, bypass super senses, and heal lost limbs. But piss
Okay.
him off enough, and he'll go full hollow. And you really don't want that.
Hollowification exceeds even Bankai, and was enough to crush Ukiura in a battle that shook all of Mundo, the world of hollows.
Full
Damn.
hollow Ichigo could even tear through all 3 layers of hell.
But with help from his secret Shinigami father, Ichigo continued to train for months in the Dangai, a corridor between dimensions, until he was finally ready to challenge Aizen.
Challenge is an understatement. He manhandled Aizen, shattered mountains.
Aizen had evolved to threaten the Soul King, a deity whose power stabilizes all 3 of the realms.
With sheer aura and flexed so hard he smashed out of the black coffin, which crushes
Damn.
space like a mini black hole.
And yet,
It does
still
what?
wasn't enough. So by becoming Getsuga itself, Ichigo unleashed his ultimate attack, Mugetsu, defeating Aizen at the cost of all his power.
He might have saved everyone, but now it was back to Normieville.
Ichigo never
He's
truly
just a
realized
regular
until then
dude.
just how much being a Shinigami meant to him. The power to protect others, his drive, his pride in himself was gone. He would give anything to
Oh
get it
man.
And he did, thanks to a surprise assist from Rukia. Boom! Shinigami again!
Just in time for a 1,000-year blood war with a final endgame boss, Yuhabak.
Who planned
'Cause
to
of course.
end everything. And while other Shinigami tried their best, only Ichigo was special enough to pull it off.
His father was a Shinigami. His mother was a member of the ancient Quincy's and possessed by a hollow. Hence, his 2 Sanbakuto spirits, one Quincy, the other Hollow and Shinigami, made Ichigo a perfect union to break Yuhabak's plan. Finally, Ichigo understood himself, fully unifying with both Zanpakuto spirits within. With that came a new Shikai and 2 new Zanpakuto.
True Shikai! If you thought Ichigo was strong,
Sliced through the chains of hell, blocked the world destroying Zokyoku, casually reacted to Zero Senpawas. Parried by Kayu's hundreds of millions of cuts, crushed Quira's Lanzai Del Relampago, shattered Aizen's Hido 90 Kiro Hitsugi, matched Soul King Yawak's realm-ending power, has defeated Renji, Kenpachi, Bayuka, Grimjow, Ilquaria, Aizen, Genjo, and Yawik. And fuck this show and its naming
He's the
stuff.
strongest Shinigami alive. They're dead. Undead? Yeah.
Stronger
Half
than
alive?
Kenpachi, who could split the Dangai in half. Stronger than Senjumaru, who shook heaven and earth across the realms. And strong enough to match Yuhabak.
Hyoyak stated True Shikai Ichigo regained the power that he used to defeat Aizen, insinuating that he reached or surpassed his own prior peak.
Even after he absorbed the Soul King.
Juiced up with Soul King power, Yuhabak could nuke all 3 realms. The human world, Soul Society, and Hueco Mundo, plus the Dangai and Garganta in between, which have a bunch of pocket dimensions sprinkled in. Hell, just the Soul King's corpse sent a shockwave across all the realms.
And it's not a matter of disrupting the flow of souls. Yuhabak was going to end everything through sheer power alone.
But Ichigo still wasn't done powering up.
Entering a new half-hollow form and merging his Getsuga Tencho with a mighty hollow attack, the Gran Ray Sero.
Making a giant crescent slash that rips through space itself.
All that power culminating in his true Bankai. A power so great, even Yuhabak was scared of it.
Joke's on you! Ichigo didn't even need it! You're done!
Ichigo was finally content. And 10 years later, he remains a Shinigami, having found the courage to stand on the edge of life and death, conquer his fears, and walk onward.
Good on him.
Most teenagers have no idea what they want to do with their life. However, that was hardly a problem for juvenile delinquent Yusuke Urameshi, because he only ever wanted to do one thing.
Throw hands!
Bruh.
It don't matter who the ops are.
Yusuke Urameshi, or whatever the fuck they, why can I never pronounce, I just heard the name, why can I not fucking pronounce it? Age 18, height 5'8" or 172 centimeters, trained by Genkai. Occupations: spirit detective and ramen salesman. Descendant of Demon King Ryzen. Likes fighting, Virtua Fighter, and Kekko. Fights anyone, be they women, old folk, or even babies. And the original shonen trash talker.
Be they women, old folk, or babies, Yusuke lived to fight. It's what gave life meaning. Who cares about stupid things like friends and family?
Which is why it was so surprising when one day he threw himself in front of a speeding car to save a child, bringing that reckless life to a screeching halt.
The Yu Yu Hakusho anime somewhat differs from the manga, particularly the ending, but expands upon the main story. Also, we are prioritizing the Japanese manga over the English translation. Makes sense.
Truck-kun claims another victim.
But this is chapter 1 of a battle shonen, so death is hardly the end.
Surprisingly though, it wasn't a spooky skeleton in a hood who arrived to claim Yusuke's soul. It was a blue-haired anime girl on a broomstick.
This was Botan, whose job was to ferry Yusuke's newly deceased spirit off to the afterlife.
Unfortunately, or I guess fortunately for him, he was such an asshole that the underworld didn't see his selfless death coming and didn't have any space prepared for him. Imagine being such a menace to society that the second you do something nice, hell itself gets caught with its pants down.
That's fucking hilarious.
Clear the way. It's time for the big bang.
Just like, yeah, we don't know what to do with you anymore, bro.
Surrogate King, Koenma, offered Yusuke an alternative. He could return to life as an agent of the afterlife, a spirit detective, solving supernatural crimes and fighting off demonic threats to humanity.
Naturally, Yusuke did what anyone would do in that situation, then told Satan Jr. to stuff it! I mean, he was never really good for anything and no one was gonna miss him, so what's the point of coming back to life? It's not like his mom would be sad, or his childhood sweetheart Keiko would be heartbroken, or even his rival Kuwabara would shed manly tears. Oh man.
At the sight of loved ones who cared far more than he ever expected, Yusuke had a change of heart and accepted Koenma's offer, returning to life with a new purpose and a new job.
And newfound ass-kicking ability. In his quest to beat the dog shit out of demonkind, Yusuke learned to harness Reiki, or spirit energy. He's ridiculously strong, fast, and durable, heals from wounds quickly, and can see spirits invisible to mortal men.
Even early on, Yusuke could parry
Immense Reiki, Spirit Gun, Spirit Shotgun, Spirit Wave, Spirit Punch, Cold Energy, Accelerated Healing, Barriers, energy absorption, propelled flight, spiritual awareness, Mazoku form, immense Yoki, demon gun, previously channeled Ryzen spirit.
Zaku's lightning arrows, which are formed from real lightning called down from the sky. And with the help of legendary warrior Genkai, he mastered a signature move that could blast anyone to smithereens.
My favorite shonen move ever, the Spirit Gun!
Of course it's your
Yusuke
favorite
had a
move.
limited number of shots, but eventually he turned it into his personal WMD. Stronger than any weapon on Earth, he could go finger blasting around as much as he wants.
The Spirit Gun is more versatile than it appears. Yusuke can bounce it off surfaces for sneak attacks, propel himself around like a rocket in flight, and produce massive explosions with each shot.
He can twist it up for a Spirit Shotgun, a mighty AoE blast, or a Spirit Punch, where he keeps the energy stored in his fists and clobbers the hell out of you. And the Spirit Wave, a Kamehameha from before we uncultured Americans knew what a Kamehameha was.
Yusuke may be a punk, but he's deceptively skilled and cunning in battle.
He's not afraid to fight dirty, throwing his shoes, using sleight of hand to place cigarettes on his foe to track them in the dark.
Personally, I'd call that smart. And his hand-to-hand is A+. He's matched experts like Cabano, who's said to have mastered all forms of martial combat.
But his best secret is how quickly he improves. All it takes is a round of training or someone threatening his friends, and Yusuke's power will spike to match stronger enemies, even if it
Like
means
Goku?
literally burning through his own life force for a power-up.
All known demons and demon fighters are individually ranked on a scale of power from E to S.
E and D
Makes
class
sense.
demons are nothing special. We're talking local threats at best. C and
Okay.
B are getting a bit dicey in a destroy your city kind of way. A and S? Well, hold on to your ass. We're talking end of the world.
As Yusuke forged bonds with new allies, like demons Hiei and Kurama, as well as his old pal Kuwabara, he found himself facing opponents he couldn't beat, such as the monstrous Toguro, who could vaporize weaker demons and crush their souls with sheer aura.
But Yusuke needed to survive and protect his loved ones, so he had no choice but to rank up, even if it meant absorbing the power of a small star. Thanks, Genkai!
Our sun has an average luminosity of 380 septillion watts, or joules per second. Small
Right.
stars like red dwarfs output about 1/10,000th of that. So this spirit orb's energy per second would equal about 9 million megatons of TNT.
And not
Damn.
to send Toguro to the grave.
Even after pushing past his own limits, Yusuke would still need more power to face S-class threats like Sensui, a past spirit detective gone bad, and a great measuring stick for what top-tier demons are capable of.
Sensui was so yoked, he couldn't even use all his power in the human world without threatening to bring down the whole thing. He compared destroying the whole goddamn planet to kicking an anthill.
According to Genkai,
Bruh.
Yusuke could destroy the planet too, if he really wanted. And even A-class threats like King Enma have shaken both the demon and human worlds.
That Enema guy is strong as balls. In the past, he fought the Netherworld King Yakumo, who could eradicate the entire human world and remake the Netherworld.
But Yusuke's power surpassed both of them, to the point where he overloaded Yakumo with his own energy. And do keep in mind, Yusuke was still only A-class at the time, a far cry from S-classes like Sensui, whose sacred energy was 10 times his superior.
But not for long, sucker, because turns out Yusuke was a demon himself.
Literally. Yusuke is the descendant of an ancient and incredibly powerful being, one of the strongest in existence, Ryzen, the Demon King.
With his Bazoku mark, Yusuke can channel Ryzen's spirit for a huge power boost and a massive thirst for murder boost. This was his first taste of a dangerous new type of spirit energy, Yoki.
A form of energy used by demons. Like normal Reiki, it can be amplified by intense emotions. Unlike normal Reiki, its use creates a pleasurable feeling, feeding into the user's rage and bloodlust.
Sounds gross.
The feral animal within.
So Yusuke upgraded his spirit gun to a demon gun. It's the same thing, but red.
Oh,
it's
shit.
strong enough to blast Sensui past the horizon, putting Yusuke's power firmly in S-class.
And making him a prime candidate to rule the demon world. But as he was thrust into a tournament vying for that throne, Yusuke began to wonder if all this power was what he really wanted.
Self-reflection? From I'll kick your ass, Yusuke Urameshi? Nah, we can worry about that later. There's a tournament to win. Which one of you, girl, baby, or grandparents is first?
Even then, as Yusuke took on the Demon King
By the Demon World Tournament, Yusuke was superior to Hiei, who survived hits from Makaro that cut through space. And he also fought Sasuke, and he won that fight, I'm pretty sure.
In an epic final battle, he was still growing. He had become far stronger than before, even achieving a unique version of the Mozoku form separate from Raizen's influence.
And a brand spanking new form of power. Kinda like Sensui's sacred energy, but even better. It's so unprecedented, it doesn't even have a name, but it's golden glowy.
Strong enough to clash with Yomi, creating an explosion that split the heavens above and decimated the Okunin tree below, pushing the Demon King himself to his
Winner of the Dark Tournament parried Suzaku's lightning arrows, contained the Spirit Orb's energy. Fucking my brain today, man. Withstood Torgaro's demonic aura, annihilated a 10-kilometer plateau in 0.45 seconds, overloaded Yakumo's realm-ending power spear, decimated an Okunin tree with Demon King Yomi, defeated Rando. There was a guy named Rando. Wow. Suzaku, Chu, Baken, Jin, Togaro, and Sensui.
His absolute limits.
But then, Yusuke lost. It's not all bad though. Even if being king would have been cool, Yusuke realized he wanted something more. He'd grown up and chose to walk a new path.
It was always Yusuke's connections with others that motivated him above all else. And it was in those connections that he found his happy ending.
But I wouldn't piss him off if you can avoid it. Get him in the right mood or threaten the human world, and the spirit detective will beat your stupid ass.
Seems about right.
Long has its return been foretold, but now, finally, it is reborn.
The original Death Battle shirt that once...
Oh. Like, what the fuck's happening?
Death Battle!
Come on, an ad right before the fight. Every time, man, with this shit.
With enough.
That's a demon. That's a hollow. No doubt about it.
You guys are both dumb, but here we go. I was gonna say dodge, but that works. Oh shit. Hand to hand. You're losing hand to hand for sure, my guy. You need to get your sword. Oh, he's gonna shoot him in the nuts. It's alright, you got it. See? Uh-oh.
Reckless idiot! What a baby! Little demon energy got you scared? Nah.
Either one of them give a fuck.
Getsuga! Yugi! Two at once? Damn, why didn't I think of that?
I mean, that's a good point. Why did you never think of that, dude? You got multiple fingers.
Let's devour him together.
Hell no! This is my fight, jackass! You just don't be back!
Oh. I'll let myself lose control.
Yeesh, rude awakening. This one's a piece of work. Need a hand, partner?
Let's do it. Like old times.
On! Cut!
Trying to wreck some shit. Yeah, because I don't expect either one of them to give up.
Is that the best you can do? I can go even faster if you'd like. Hell yeah! Bring it on, asshole!
Yeah, this is the shit he lives for, man.
I'll kill you even if it kills me! I'm putting it all on the line! See you, do the same! Screw that!
Damn. Oh, looks like Yusuke's gonna win. Oh, never mind. I thought he was gonna push through, but he didn't.
Give me a freaking break. See you on the other side.
Damn, that's a pretty good one though.
You think the afterlife offers frequent flyer miles?
There's a lot to cover here, so let's break this down into 4 chapters, starting
All right.
with their abilities.
Yusuke could see Ichigo no problem, and resist auras like Taguro's that are similar to Reiatsu, so Ichigo couldn't cheese a win right away.
Otherwise, Yusuke was outmatched. Sure, the Spirit Gun could potentially match the Getsuga Tensho, and he had stat-boosting forms like the Mizoku. Ichigo, however, had more varied powers, a better healing factor, greater stamina given his months of Dongai training,
And all those swords! He just had way more abilities to play with.
Likewise,
All right.
speed was a fairly
Yeah.
easy call. Yusuke could react to lightning early on,
Dude was blitzing his ass. Spirit Gun can bounce off mirrors, but has never been described as light, unlike Sero's, and exhibits contradictory properties. Likewise, nobody reacts to the light produced by Musashi's photon sword.
and obviously got much faster over time. Looking at this blast from his clash with Yomi, it erupted upwards at 57% the speed of light.
But Ichigo was faster than light from the start, and he's gotten faster too. He couldn't even see Byakuya at first, but blitzed him in the rematch. Plus, he's got tons of training and power-ups since then.
The Soul King Shockwave, for example, expanded across the realms at thousands of times light speed, and Ichigo reacted to attacks from Soul King Yuhabak that utilized the same power. So, Ichigo takes speed. But Yusuke's fought plenty of foes faster or more varied than him, so it's extremely
Right.
important to examine their tactics and ability to adapt mid-fight.
This is
Which-
kind of both their things. Ichigo
Yeah.
has styled on guys with
kind of a
centuries of
main
training
pro-
and has over a
protagonist
decade
thing.
of experience as a Shinigami. He's pretty good at figuring out new weapons and styles.
Meanwhile, Yusuke was flexible and quick to adapt, mixing cleverness with exceptional hand-to-hand. He's good enough to match Kabano, who mastered every martial art. Ichigo's decent at hand-to-hand, but
Ichigo's martial arts are comparable to his friend Tatsuki, who performed well in a national competition with a broken arm. However, this level of skill would not compare to characters like Rando and Kibano, whom Yusuke has also fought.
it's not his go-to in the same way.
So, both had their strong suits, with advantages on each side. It's fair to call this one a draw.
Leaving only the biggest winning factor, which could have superseded all other advantages: power.
Alrighty then.
A
So
safer Ontario means
obviously
playgrounds
he's
with
gonna win
no
power
drug
then,
injection sites
so
nearby.
that they can be like he's the winner.
They're unstoppable on the field. You're unmovable from the couch. Lock in with
Between Sensui, Genkai, and Enma, Yusuke could definitely destroy the planet. Examining his sky-splitting clash with Yomi and measuring its scale, that's about 4 quadrillion megatons of TNT, which is crazy.
Similarly, mid-series Ichigo could shake Huecomundo, tear through hell, and block attacks that could destroy the Soul Society. But at his peak, he beat Yuhabak, who could destroy several realms, which is far more impressive than just one.
To be fair, Yusuke also beat Yakumo, who could threaten 2 realms at the same time, pretty close to Yuhabak's threatening 3.
And Yusuke far surpassed Yakumo afterward. The gap between him and Sensui alone was 10 times. So there could be an argument for Yusuke's power surpassing Ichigo if 3 realms was truly Ichigo's limit.
Fortunately for Ichigo, it's not. Yuhabak was also gonna destroy the
The exact size of Bleach's realms is unclear, but likely larger than the realms that Yakumo threatened. Ichigo still exceeds Yusuke with even the most conservative interpretations.
Ganta, which has at least 29 pocket dimensions inside it.
Each containing at least a planet and star, much larger than Yusuke's planet-sized worlds. Plus, Ichigo matched Yuhabak in True Shikai, without his additional boost from Half Hollow and True Bankai.
As always with Death Battle, there's arguments either way. But the way we see it, even being generous with Yusuke's power and conservative with Ichigo's, the gap was just too big, giving Ichigo the final edge. Sorry if things got messy, but that's just how Ichigo's.
The winner is Ichigo Kurosaki.
Alrighty. Not a bad start to their year. So let's check out their next one. The final battle for this episode is going to be Cell versus Metal Sonic. I like Dragon Ball, so my first instinct is go with Cell. But Metal Sonic can adapt and copy people, right? Like, he copies Sonic abilities and stuff. Cell is a bio android, not just android, meaning he could probably do the same thing, right? Copy Cell's abilities. Like, to me, that would make sense. Because that's his whole thing, is that he copies. Like, that's why they have these two fighting each other, because they both have copy abilities. But I feel like Metal Sonic's copy ability is way better than Cell's copy ability. And that's what's gonna, like, make Metal Sonic win. So I'm going with Metal Sonic for this fight.
Cell versus Metal Sonic.
Which copycat android is truly the superior model?
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. There's a monster stalking Gingertown. No one who's seen it has lived to tell the tale. All it left behind was their clothes. Something ate these people's insides, leaving only a shadow behind.
Some kind of creature driven only by the need to feed. Earth's new apex predator, the ultimate life form.
The Namekian Piccolo went to investigate this manslayer and discovered that it was intelligent. Its tail could unravel to absorb its hapless victims and add their energy to its wretched gestalt.
But the nightmare was only just beginning, because for its last trick, somehow this freak of nature knew the Kamehameha.
The mystery of this creature's origin was decades in the making. Years ago, the world was terrorized by the most advanced paramilitary organization in history, the Red Ribbon Army.
Until they got rocked by this little kung fu gremlin, Son Goku.
They got fucked up.
But Red Ribbon's dream of revenge lived on within their head scientist, Dr. Gero.
Oh yeah, that guy.
In a cave laboratory, Gero would go to work studying the Z fighters from afar, learning everything there was to know about them,
and building a series of androids that would destroy.
Yeah, but what could possibly happen, right?
For all.
He made a ton of them, infinite energy androids.
While superficially similar, Cell Max from Dragon Ball Superhero is a separate character from Perfect Cell, and thus will not be analyzed in this battle.
Absorbing androids, trucker head androids, and even ginger androids.
Oh shit.
None of Gero's
Two of them
creations were capable of matching that drive to improve that Goku and his fellow martial artists possessed.
Luckily, he had one more android left. A cute little booger so complex he'd take years after Gero's death to complete. Its name was Cell.
Born from a single cell.
Hence the name. Creator Dr. Gero. Height 7 foot or 213 centimeters. Classified as a bio-android. DNA composition, Earthling, Saiyan, Namekian, Frieza clan, etc. Created to avenge the Red Ribbon Army. Is extremely annoying to draw. And likes tournaments, Heat Tap, and Kermit the Frog.
Get it? This android possessed the genetic information of all the greatest warriors that had battled on Earth, and when fully evolved,
I guess since they did the whole Kermit the Frog thing, that I'm guessing it's like Devil Artemis that helped them with this episode, like animating it and probably voicing Cell and stuff.
Would become unstoppable.
And with their DNA, Cell absorbed all their powers and techniques too.
Common among all of them is the power to manipulate Ki, or the energy that exists in all living things, and weaponize it to fire energy blasts, fly at faster than light speeds, move things with telekinesis, and create force fields.
From the humans, Krillin and Tien, Cell knows the multiform technique, Destructo Disc, and the Tri-Beam, his extra special favorite. Oh, weird, I'm not seeing Chaozu on this list. Sorry, bud.
Is Shiatsu human?
Oh.
Okay. Cell can fire the Death Beam, as well
I
as
mean,
breathe
good
in
question.
and travel through the vacuum of space with the alien genes of Frieza and his father.
And because he's got Piccolo's DNA, Cell can regenerate humongous damage to his body at the cost of some ki.
Cell has survived having half his body vaporized multiple times, and cannot be destroyed unless the small cluster of cells at the core of his being is eradicated.
Should that little bugger survive, Cell will always return, even stronger than before because of the Saiyan DNA he got from Goku and Vegeta. Definitely the cream of the genetic crop.
Skip.
Sure, he can perfectly replicate attacks like the
Key manipulation, flight, absorption, telekinesis, self-destruct, Saiyan power boost, Namekian regeneration, Kamehameha, instant transmission, Gallic gun, Big Bang attack, special beam cannon, death beam, solar flare, multiform technique, tri-beam, destructo disc, and the spirit bomb.
Gallic gun, spirit bomb, and of course Kamehameha, as well as teleport by locking onto a living being's key signature.
But the best part of being a Saiyan is how much crazy stronger they get every time they almost die.
They can even evolve to become orders of magnitude stronger in the midst of battle. Combine that with Cell's healing factor, and he is effectively the ultimate warrior.
Like a perpetual shonen motion machine.
Driven by a biological imperative, Cell wanted nothing more than to devour Giro's previous androids, 17 and 18, believing it would make him perfect.
Only one problem. The Cell we know was born in the future, and both 17 and 18 had been destroyed. So he murdered Trunks and went back in time. Not our Trunks, future Trunks. Well, not future Trunks, but another future Trunks. It's very complicated. There's like
It's a little
5 timelines.
complicated.
As Cell defeated and absorbed the androids, he evolved.
Larval state, imperfect cell, semi-perfect cell, perfect cell, powerhouse, power weighted, and super perfect cell, comparable to Super Saiyan 2, which, I mean, he should be in that form by like default when we see him fighting, or at the very least perfect cell, then power up to super perfect cell. The larval state in the imperfect cell and semi-perfect cell forms shouldn't matter.
Not only getting stronger, but changing his personality and developing a lust for battle.
He became less creepy bug serial killer and more, well, Saiyan. After exploiting that very Saiyan arrogance and warrior's pride, Cell finally became perfect.
And easily dominated Trunks and Vegeta, the latter of whom had decades of battle experience under his belt.
Perfect Cell's power was off the charts. He could threaten the whole Earth just by powering up. With a full power Kamehameha, he was even capable of destroying our entire solar system.
While the vast majority of our solar system's mass is located in the sun, this still means that Cell's ki wave would have to reach 2.8 billion miles to eradicate every planet.
But Wiz, maybe he was just exaggerating.
Not likely.
I mean, maybe.
Cell's claim has been backed up in multiple guidebooks, and even demonstrated outright in the video games.
Cell's even stronger in the anime adaptation, considering the time Frieza blew up Namek.
Frieza also survived that same blast. Other Toei characters, such as Garlic Jr., can create miniature black holes and nearly destroy a pocket dimension containing stars, making Frieza's feed consistent.
In the anime, the explosion was literally hundreds of light years wide and lit up the friggin' galaxy.
And Cell was far stronger than Frieza was at that point in time.
Hell, the Namekians could sense him all the way from a different galaxy and thought he might be a threat to the whole universe.
He's also incredibly fast.
Can destroy the solar system, obtained Krillin's destructo disc, survived a planet-sized final blast, regenerated from self-destruction, compared to the Supreme Demon King Dabura, defeated Piccolo, Vegeta, Trunks, Goku, and briefly contended with the almighty Hercule Satan. Oh shit, man, this guy's some serious fucking business.
Blitzing even the strongest Z fighters
He's
at the time.
strong as
Goku flew
fuck
from
if he
Grand
can
Kai's
take on
planet to heaven
Hercule.
all the way to hell,
That dude
hundreds of
fought Dan
billions of light
Hibiki.
years in half a minute. And that was in his base form.
Yeah, that's cool, but how about the power to squeeze mini Cell Juniors out of your butt? What? Never heard of that key technique? Call it the Kegel.
Perfect Cell was entirely.
Heaven is described as the size of a universe in the Daizenshu and by characters in the anime. Goku did this shortly after dying when he was still largely inferior to Cell.
without peer, and, no longer wedded to Jiro's petty grudge, decided to prove it with a tournament.
The Cell Games! And if Goku couldn't even beat him, what hope did anyone else have? Vegeta couldn't even handle a Cell Jr.
Their last hope was Goku's own son, Gohan.
After Cell arrogantly let him power up, Gohan unleashed his rage, pushed the bug monster to his absolute limits, and beat him! Wow, Cell, you really are related to Vegeta, aren't you?
In truth, Cell was a victim of his own success. The same Saiyan genes that made him all-powerful also sowed the seeds of his defeat.
He got so mad, he even blew himself up. Maybe he does have some Chaozu in him after all.
Even that wasn't enough to totally put him down, and he came back with the same Super Saiyan power-up that Gohan had just unlocked.
Super perfect Cell! Now with more lightning, in a battle for the ages, Cell put the entire weight of his biological programming against one lone Saiyan, and went the distance.
But in the end, it still wasn't enough. No matter how brilliantly Dr. Gero copied the Z-Fighters, he still couldn't quite figure out their knack for going beyond.
What can be destroyed can always be rebuilt. All it takes to recreate the most fearsome warrior in the universe is one single Cell.
Hey, real quick, did you know Death Metal launched our own tabletop of other infamous and from the mouth?
Oh, this we might be.
Time and again, the world and its cuddly forest critters were threatened by the evil and oval Dr. Ivo Eggman Robotnik.
And time and again, that same world and those same critters were saved by Sonic the Hedgehog. No matter how many robotic badniks the good doctor threw at his blue spiky nemesis, his schemes were always 6 spin jumps to the glowing wing spot away from getting cracked and scrambled.
But it wouldn't be over easy for Eggman. If he couldn't defeat the Blue Blur, he would make his own, Metal Sonic.
Well, 0 points on creativity for that name, but goddamn, he does look metal as hell.
They say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, so
Creator Dr. Ivo Eggman Robotnik. Height 3'3" or 100 centimeters. Weight 276 pounds or 125 kilograms. Also known as Hyper Metal Sonic, Metal Overlord, and Metallics. Main CPU is LIPS AI Eggman custom chip. His frame is monocoque titanium. Engine is a 15 CU and 4-valve Oregon fusion engine. He likes destroying Sonic and Breezy, and hates Sonic.
Eggman built Metal with more than enough blast processing to match his prototype.
Metal can zoom around at massively hypersonic speeds, fast enough to fly to nearby planets in seconds.
He's tougher than Eggman's standard equipment, some of which can survive black holes.
Clear the way!
Metal can use all of Sonic's power-ups, and even replicate his classic spin dash and light speed attack.
But he's got moves of his own.
He can attack with energy blast, fire a chest laser, surround himself in an electric aura, or an impenetrable force field.
By overloading his circuitry with energy, Metal can activate V Maximum Overdrive, quadrupling his acceleration and obliterating anything in his path, at the risk of self-destructing.
You'd think all that'd be enough to turn the rodent into roadkill, but it only took one showdown on Stardust Speedway to send Metal to the scrap heap.
On paper, Metal should be able to outmatch Sonic in every way, yet he
The fuck was
doesn't.
that?
For some reason, Eggman wasn't able to capture that ineffable quality that makes Sonic the fastest thing alive. Metal's defeats at the hands of Sonic and his friends sharpened his AI into a seething hatred of his rival and a burning desire to prove himself superior.
Yeah, well, when you're getting your supersized red ass handed to you by Charmy B, you know something's gone horribly wrong.
Metal's defeats gave him an existential crisis. If he was created to surpass Sonic and couldn't even manage that, what was he? Why should he exist?
Never one to admit defeat, Eggman took Metal back to the drawing board and birthed him anew. Ew.
This Neo Metal Sonic was, above all, far smarter.
Especially after he copied Eggman's intelligence and took over his empire. And we mean literally copied. If Metal started as Sonic's copycat, why not hunt all of his furry friends down and copy them too?
Neo Metal Sonic is equipped with scanners,
Flight, Spin Dash, Homing Attack, Chest Laser, V Maximum Overdrive, King Spark Field, Black Shield, Copycat, Chaos Control, Time Stop, Warping, Teleportation, and Spatial Distortion. Power-ups, Lost Labyrinth Treasure, Hyper Go On Energy, Dark Rings, Chaos Emeralds, and the Master Emerald.
in his optic receptors that can copy a person's biodata, giving him the ability to recreate all of their abilities in seconds.
Like the Sonic Boom, Knuckles' Hammer Punch, Tails' magical swiveling asshole, and Big's ability to suck at fishing.
Metal isn't just learning their moves.
Tails speculates in the IDW comic that Metal could have copied Blaze's pyrokinesis or Soul's emerald manipulation. His comments also infer that Metal can copy multiple traits at the same time.
He can replicate more esoteric powers like Silver Psychokinesis, manufacture Rouge's mechanical bat guards, or alter his very biology to copy Espio's chameleon invisibility. It's worth mentioning that biological data is a real scientific term and can refer to molecular structures like the genome sequence within a living organism's DNA.
Yeah, his copying is so busted.
Then what if Neo copied Blaze's biodata? He'd be able to use her fire powers, at least, and harness the soul emeralds for himself, at worst.
It doesn't really matter that he's a robot made of metal. If you can do it, so can he. Probably helps that he can shapeshift and regenerate his whole body from a puddle.
Likely by copying one of the mightiest beings on the planet, the god of destruction, Chaos.
Not the only chaos he's encountered.
By scanning the ultimate life form, Shadow the Hedgehog, he gained his ability to manipulate some of the most powerful artifacts in the universe.
You mean the Chaos Emeralds?
Yes. The emeralds contain an infinite wellspring of mystical power and life energy. With them, Metal can perform Shadow's chaos control. He can teleport, warp, and distort space, boost his speed, and stop time. And with either the Chaos Emeralds or Master
Metal Sonic Kai, Giga Metal Sonic, Neo Metal Sonic, Metal Overlord, Master Overlord, Super Neo Metal Sonic grants him invulnerability, energy projection, and size shifting.
Emerald, he can transform into Super Neo Metal Sonic.
Completely invulnerable and completely golden, Super Neo Metal Sonic can move at faster than light speeds and has the power to move continents.
The emeralds are inconceivably powerful.
Sonic Speed Simulator follows Sega's character lore guidelines and shows Metal can achieve a more stable super form with the Chaos Emeralds, in addition to using the Master Emerald in the IDW comic.
Powerful. They've been used to fuel Eggman's Death Egg, which could obliterate star systems.
On their own, they can even create and destroy whole universes.
Other super characters like Sonic have battled and defeated beings like the Time Eater, who could destroy multiple dimensions and timelines in seconds. At their peak, 3 super hedgehogs have even fought Solaris, who nearly consumed Sonic's entire multiverse.
So Super Neo Metal Sonic should be just...
Metal Sonic should outclass the younger classic Super Sonic, who also fought Time Eater and is capable of matching modern Supersonic. Capable of matching modern Supersonic, Shadow, and Silver after copying their biodata. Super Neo Metal Sonic and modern Supersonic have also fought evenly in Sonic Speed Simulator.
as powerful as any of them. Though he's gotta be quick, because all that power only lasts a short time.
The road to total domination was nearly at an end. After manipulating Sonic and friends and copying their abilities, Metal eventually combined their biodata with the mighty Egg Fleet and became Metal Overlord.
Complete with missiles, giant crystal projectiles, and the strength to match 3 supersonic heroes all by himself, Overlord is all-time final boss material.
And he knew it. His ego might as well have had its own.
Usurped control of the Eggman Empire, can keep up with Sonic the Hedgehog, flew from Little Planet to Earth in seconds, harnessed the power of the Chaos Emeralds and the Master Emerald, matched Eggman's genius intellect, battled teams Sonic, Rose, Dark, and Chaotix all at once, and defeated Sonic, Knuckles, Silver, and Shadow.
Health bar. Metal's drive to surpass his rival had morphed into the delusional belief that he was the original, and Sonic the loathsome copy.
A copy that Metal had finally outclassed. All the heroes Metal had gathered had to team up to take him down.
He may have stolen their abilities, but
Eggman states that the Chaos Emeralds roughly matched Metal Overlord in power, making him comparable to feats or machines powered by the emeralds or other equivalents.
Metal never possessed the thing that made the Sonic heroes successful, their friendship and teamwork.
Aw, how cute! Gag. Probably should have added some of those goddamn rails to the final boss fight, because it is impossible to land on those things. After getting trashed again, Eggman reprogrammed Metal to purge any bits of rebelliousness from his code.
Metal returned to being the Eggman Army's chief enforcer, always proving invaluable as the Bad Doctor's greatest creation, now completely obedient once again.
I don't know, Wiz. Who knows what's really going on behind those glowing red eyes? Maybe Metal is more cunning than he lets on, and is only biding his time until he can take over again.
Maybe the most powerful thing that Metal copied was the ability to lie.
Oh shit.
Hey, I'm Chad, the voice of Chip for Haters of Death here for episodes of Primate Need Death. You get it's a shirt we make nicer. These copycats get. Thanks.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a
Death battle!
Salutations, Dr. Robotnik. Your reputation precedes you. Bring me your strongest fighter, or face...
Yeah, Robotnik's not charging
to kneel before your master. Perfect.
Pretty good music. This fight's pretty clean. I think it does look like it was made by Devil Artemis. Oh, that's gonna shatter that shit. Getting fucking jumped, my guy.
Tell me, does a machine like yourself ever experience fear? Not anymore.
Oh shit. Starting to get serious. Oh shit. Bro, calm down.
You're dealing with the ultimate life form.
Come on, Metal Sonic. Scan him or something.
Observe chaos.
There we go. Yeah, fuck him up.
It'll take more than that to kill me, puppet!
It's definitely Devil Artemis' voice for sure.
Now I know everything about you, insect.
Yeah. Got all your memories, all your abilities. Well, maybe not memories, but he scanned you, so he knows your weakness. It's not gonna help. Got your power on top of his own power. You're fucked, dude. That automatically makes him stronger, even if it's only a little bit.
Don't you dare.
Oh, he's gonna. He fucking TN'd him. He fucking TN'd him, yo. Oh, now he's pissed. Oh shit. Metal Sonic can do a Kamehameha now, yo. This is crazy. I mean,
Just the greatest warrior in the universe. I am all of them.
Dude, you're about to die. This dude's about to take over the fucking world with your powers.
If you are all of them, then so am I. I'll never lose to a machine like...
Yeah, stop talking. That guy just all mouth and hot air.
I'll crush you.
Yeah, you did.
So now Metal's got all the powers of the Chaos Emeralds and the Z Fighters?
Yep.
Well, that world's fucked. Our bad.
Yeah.
Cell may have been
You
one of
guys
the
keep
greatest
fucking
threats in
worlds
Dragon
when
Ball
you
Z,
do shit like
but
this.
Eggman's greatest creation ultimately proved too much for him. Let's break this down into 4 categories: strength, speed, abilities, and adaptation.
First up, who was the strongest? Well, it's no surprise that any version of Cell was gonna be way more powerful than base Metal or Neo.
Yeah, no shit.
Just using the manga, blowing up a solar system is far beyond the level of power output Metal can match.
Without his stronger forms. With them, the power gap entirely reversed. Not only could Metal match Cell's solar system busting or scaling from Frieza, but he could surpass it with the universe-destroying power of the Emeralds.
But hang on, Wiz. Those Namekians said that Cell was strong enough to threaten a universe on his own.
They did,
Yeah, but he
but
didn't
they
mean
didn't
all at
specify how,
once.
and there's nothing suggesting he could destroy it in one go, especially since it's only brought up theoretically and without any time frame.
Even being generous and assuming he could just
Even scaling Cell to Toei Broly, who could destroy all of South Galaxy, would still be less powerful than threatening the entirety of Sonic's multiverse.
blow it up, final bosses like Time Eater and Solaris can destroy the wider multiverse, and Super Neo Metal would scale to them. Metal Sonic takes the edge in strength.
And with
Well,
Sonic
once he's
characters being
powered up.
known for their speed, you might think that was an easy win for Metal.
At his max speed in his super form, he should be comparable to entities like the Time Eater, who in Shadow Generations can destroy entire universes in seconds. By using the radius of the observable universe, we can estimate the Time Eater's destructive wave traveled at about 180 quadrillion times faster than light.
Certainly impressive, but let's compare that to Goku's flight from heaven to hell shortly after the Cell games, which covered roughly a universe in distance at approximately 180 quadrillion times faster than light.
Hey, just like Time Eater. The difference, though, was that Goku was in his base form, way slower than Super Saiyan 2 Gohan or Super Perfect Cell.
Factoring in Super Saiyan multipliers, Super Perfect
Both Cell and Metal scale to characters with potential infinite speed feats such as Metal Cooler and Black Doom. However, these would cancel each other out given equal leeway.
Cell can move upwards of 100 times faster than that, and so 100 times faster than Metal Sonic. Somehow, Cell takes the edge in speed. You know, the thing Metal was designed for.
Wasn't expecting that. Let's see if any of their abilities could tip the scales.
They shared many of the same powers, like telekinesis, force fields, and energy projectiles. Of note,
Right.
though, Cell's regeneration was clearly superior, able
Yeah.
to fully heal from a single cluster of microscopic cells.
On top of that, Cell's Saiyan genes would let him grow in power every time he almost died, and his Cell Juniors gave him the numbers advantage.
And considering Super Neo Metal had a time limit, Cell would have a big advantage in a battle of attrition.
But with Chaos Control, that became a lot tougher.
Cell and his juniors had no way to deal with Metal boosting his speed or stopping time, something that countered Cell's speed advantage and left him open. And with Silver's psychokinesis, or the Emerald spatial distortion, Metal could seriously impair Cell's healing.
So it helped that Cell could fall back on his martial arts abilities in a pinch.
Despite effectively being a newborn, Cell's genetic instincts allowed him to best Earth's most skilled warriors back to back to back.
Metal may have
Fair
copied
enough.
Eggman's brains, but he definitely isn't as good of a fighter. The Sonic heroes haven't trained like the Z fighters, and Metal's been beaten by all of them a bunch of times. So all that in mind, abilities is roughly a wash.
Which leaves us with the one thing they're both known for, their capability to evolve and become more powerful in response to their opponents, aka their adaptation.
And frankly, that's where this back and forth completely breaks. Because at the end of the day, Metal can copy Cell, but Cell can't absorb Metal.
Cell's ability
Yep.
to physically absorb an opponent is primarily
Diane Shu claims Perfect Cell gained 17 and 18's infinite energy generators after absorbing them. However, not only does Cell tire against Goku, the Chaos Emeralds also give Metal infinite energy within the Super Transformations time limit.
Fairly viable against foes he can match or overpower.
Even if he took Metal by surprise, he can't absorb fully inorganic robots like Android 16.
Cell was only able to absorb Android 17 and 18 because they were primarily organic.
They're actually more like cyborgs and are only called androids in the English translation.
Metal, on the other hand, can copy a target's biodata through only a few seconds of direct eyesight, something he could easily accomplish during a time stop.
And using it on Cell means he wouldn't just get Cell's powers, but the powers of all of the Z-Warriors too.
Remember, Metal's copying applies to abilities that fundamentally affect his own biology, like Espio's invincibility or Chaos's liquid body. Nothing Cell has would be off limits, especially given all of Cell's powers were genetically encoded in the first place, quite literally biodata.
Cell's Saiyan power-ups? Copied. Cell's regeneration? Copied. Cell's key techniques? Believe it or not, copied.
Chaos Emeralds are described as being able to produce light.
Furthermore, the Earth's life force energy restored the emeralds and vice versa in Sonic Unleashed. Chaos energy can also manipulate souls and restore life just like Ki.
Life energy, similar to Ki. So there's a precedent for him being able to replicate Cell's power set. And at this point, there's nothing stopping Metal from, say, stopping time and using a Kamehameha to vaporize him at a cellular level, just like Gohan did.
Cell might be able to do any.
Well, Android 16, 17, and 18 lack natural Ki. They can imitate it with artificial generators. Metal Sonic's generators are similar, utilizing Orgon energy, another form of life energy, further reinforcing that Metal could reliably imitate Ki.
Anything the Z-Fighters know how to do, but that's not gonna help him, cause Metal can do anything Cell knows how to do. Strange, isn't it?
Cell just doesn't have any options to retaliate that Metal wouldn't also possess, including any of his previous advantages. Metal's copy ability is just that overpowered.
Oh, I guess now I get why they called it Sonic CD.
And why's that?
Cell died.
Boo.
Wiz, you get it? CD? Wiz, where you go? Come on back. Next time.
That's a bad pun to end on. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this episode, guys. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, all that fun stuff. Go to Death Battle's channel and give them the love they deserve. You know, these battles have been absolute fire, and they definitely deserve more subscribers, so, you know, go and check them out. And of course, like always, check back on Wednesday, and I'll have my new video, or I'll have the single versions of all these videos posted. So, that being said, have a good one, and peace out, guys.